All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Kitty McGee Arena on the campus of Texas Women's University for today's NCAA women's basketball game between your TWU Pioneers and the Central Oklahoma Broncos. This is the Jupiter House Coffee pregame show on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network. Start your day the right way at Jupiter House Coffee. Located on the historic Denton Courthouse Square, Jupiter House has fresh coffee, juice, and pastries ready for you. I'm Steve Sheridan, your play-by-play announcer for today's game. Joining me on color is Mitch Cullen. Jonathan Whitmus is our producer. TWU enters today's contest at 2-0 after a 73-56 victory over Texas A&M International here yesterday in the first round of the Pioneer Premier. Tabitha Thurman, Tori Mason, and Rhea Podaraki combined for 37 points and 22 rebounds for the Pioneers in that game. Central Oklahoma comes in at 2-1 after beating Angelo State 67-64 here yesterday. Jill Bryan led the Broncos in that contest with 19 points, while Alyssa Fuchsa added 14. Here's Mitch with more.
Thanks, Steve. Going to be a little more of a challenge, I think, tonight than it was last night, but it's going to be fun to watch. Central Oklahoma comes in, fresh off the win against Angelo State yesterday, which is always a good opponent. They had they had three of their best players in double figures yesterday. Jill Bryant led the way, 19 points and 8 boards. Brittany Morgan with 11 points, and Alyssa Fuchsa 14 and 8. So their stars, shine in the games, and I think that's what we're going to see from them today.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks a lot. Should be a terrific afternoon of basketball here at Kitty McGee Arena. Just ahead in the Jupiter House Coffee pregame show, we'll have interviews with the head coaches in today's game and give you scouting reports on both teams. You're listening to TWU Basketball on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network, home of the Maroon and White. We'll be back to hear from Central Oklahoma head coach Guy Hardacre in just a moment. Jupiter House is Denton's locally owned and locally operated coffee shop. With 2 locations to serve you, on the Courthouse Square or University Drive, Jupiter House is the perfect place to start your day. Grab your favorite coffee drink, pastry, or empanada and get ready to take on the world. Jupiter House, proud corporate partners of TWU Athletics.
Alpha Graphics is the official printing company for TWU Athletics. Whether you need printing or mailing services or a complete set of marketing solutions, Alpha Graphics is the right team for you. Get more information at alphagraphics.com or call 940-891-1200. When you choose Alpha Graphics, you choose results.
The Denton Record Chronicle is the place to get the latest TWU athletics news. Read our print edition or visit us at dentonrc.com. The Denton Record Chronicle also provides the best coverage of all the local high schools, as well as the Rangers, Stars, Cowboys, and Mavericks. That's the Denton Record Chronicle, your news source for Denton County.
Welcome back to the Jupiter House Coffee pregame show. Just a little bit ago, Mitch caught up with Central Oklahoma head coach Guy Hardacre. Here are his thoughts on today's game, brought to you by the Denton Record Chronicle. The Denton Record Chronicle, your source for news on your favorite TWU team.
Okay, we're here with Coach Hardacre with Central Oklahoma, and want to ask him a few questions. Coach, congratulations on your win yesterday.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about what you took away from that game.
Well, we had to make a lot of adjustments. We've got a lot of young girls, several freshmen, and especially at the post position. We run kind of a transitional break and a secondary break that's really orchestrated through your 4s and 5s, and so they've got a lot to think about. And then the team we played yesterday, San Angelo State, they switch everything. They switch every screen, and you're going to find a look because somebody's generally open, but it's confusing on young kids, and we struggle with it, I felt like, for almost the whole game.
Right.
But our kids, they battled through and they grinded and they stayed with it and stayed patient and made a couple of plays late that we didn't make in the first half. We missed a lot of little over-the-top post moves and finished those in the second half, and I think that was the difference in the game.
Right, and Angelo State was a quality opponent to beat too, so congratulations there.
Thanks.
Tell me what you expect tonight out of TWU.
Well, I think they play a little more like we would like to play. Now, I'm not saying we play that way yet because we're nowhere near where they're at this point in the season. She's got a lot of transfer girls, a lot of college experienced practice players. That makes a big difference. And but they're going to get up and guard you hard. They're going to put pressure on the basketball. They're not going to give you anything easy around the basket. They run great stuff. She just does an unbelievable job coaching them. And I'd kind of felt like I'd had my way with them at one time. And then she beat us in the finals of the conference tournament 2 years ago when we were in the Lone Star, and beat us at the buzzer and all that. So she's really turned this program around.
Well, it'll be kind of fun because even though it's a round robin tournament, it's the two teams that won yesterday, so kind of the championship game, right?
Oh, I guess it's early in the season.
Right.
You're just trying to learn possession. We're still taking some possessions off, but I like our team. I like our girls, and we get a few of these Texas girls to move up our way. That's part of our issue.
Right, I got you. All right, well, hey, I appreciate your time and good luck.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
But we'll know that at least 5 or so more days in advance. Jupiter House is in sports medicine knowledge, professional service, and operational excellence needed to consistently provide the highest value to the patients we serve. D&D Sports Medicine will help you get back in the game. At Point Bank, we know our area, we know our people, and we have since 1884. Would you like a personal banking experience with the same security the big banks offer? The friendly and helpful people of Point Bank are from your own Denton community, which means that your needs are foremost. Because convenience is so important to you, Point Bank offers 9 locations, 24-hour express banking, and free online banking. Visit pointbank.com to find the location nearest you and come on by to let our friendly staff help you with your banking needs.
Dr. Michael Avenshire is one of the team doctors for your TWU Pioneers. Specializing in family and sports medicine, Dr. Avenshire enjoys taking care of the whole family, but there is just nothing more fun than being out on the field or in the gym taking care of athletes. Dr. Avenshire is located at the Medical Center of North Texas on Highway 380 and Crossroads. Give him a call, 940-365-9389. James.
Welcome back to the Jupiter Coffee House pregame show. It's now time for a scouting report on Central Oklahoma. This segment is sponsored by Groggy Dog Sportswear, the official screen printer of TWU Athletics. Mitch, what can you tell us about the Broncos?
Well, it's kind of like what Coach Hardacre said. He's got a lot of young kids on the team, and if you look at their roster, they're full of freshmen and sophomore players. The players that have been coming through for him, though, are his upperclassmen, his juniors and his seniors. Like Fuchs, the senior, was 14-8 yesterday. So what he is getting is he's getting a lot out of his upperclassmen, and he's trying to figure out who the younger players are that are gonna pick up those other areas that he hadn't got covered yet. So that's what we're going to find out today. Do they have enough from those younger players to fill in those spots?
Right, absolutely. And we mentioned yesterday I had written down the double-figure scores, but their leading scorer and rebounder returning from last year, Savannah Hamilton. I didn't write down her points off the box score, and I don't have it in front of me, but I know she didn't score in double digits yesterday.
Right.
And the other player we talked about, which was kind of neat, is Jordan Ward from Alvord, because Argyle plays Alvord every year, so she's played against – you and I both have kids that go to Argyle, and she's played against them the last several years, and Alvord Oh, gosh, they only lost maybe 4 or 5 games last year in 2A. They're pretty outstanding.
Yeah,
So.
I see her high school coach up there in the stands, too, so he's taking the opportunity to come watch her play.
Yeah, and the interesting thing on their roster is basically you got a lot of when we put it on the roster, most colleges will put a high school, but then they'll put in parentheses if someone came from a college. And you and I were talking about how basically we've got 6 Division I transfers and 1 from Blinn Junior College on our roster. Well, and so those are all in parentheses on the roster. There are no parentheses.
There aren't any, no.
on the Central Oklahoma roster. So they're all straight out of high school, or as you said, he's looking to the upperclassmen to help them out.
And they're all out of Oklahoma with the exception of Ward. She's the only one out of Texas. So it's an Oklahoma born and bred team pretty much.
Absolutely. All right, well, you're listening to TWU Basketball on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network. We'll be back in just a moment to hear from TWU head coach Beth Gilson.
9389. James Wood Auto Park is a proud sponsor of the TWU Pioneers. With dealership locations in both Denton and Decatur, James Wood is the place to go for your next automobile purchase. James Wood's extensive inventory includes new cars, pre-owned cars, and commercial trucks. James Wood Auto Park, big savings, big selection, and a big difference.
You may think all investment firms are the same. However, Edward Jones has made a conscious decision to serve you, the individual investor, differently. It's more than lip service. See for yourself how this approach can help make a difference for you and your family. Call Edward Jones of Denton at 940-565-0100 and start making sense of your investing. Welcome back to the Jupiter House Coffee pregame show. Earlier, we discussed today's contest with TWU head coach Beth Gilson. This interview is brought to you by James Wood Auto Park. James Wood, big savings, big selection, big difference.
Okay, we're here with Coach Gilson. Coach, it's always easier to do these interviews coming off a big win. It's a lot more fun to do it. So I know you broke down the film. Tell me what your assessments are of the game last night.
I really liked our offense and transition. I thought we scored a lot of easy buckets yesterday. We got a lot of layups. We got the ball inside, which is what we want to do. Definitely, I thought we needed to focus when we got up. You know, I thought we lost our focus a little bit, but this team is improving every single time we practice, every time we get on the court, and with so many new players, it's fun to see how much we're improving each time.
True. All right, well, Central Oklahoma won yesterday. Y'all won yesterday, kind of the winner's bracket, right? Even though not really, but tell me what you expect to see out of them.
They're a very well-coached team, tough, run a lot of different sets, like the dribble drive, motion, 3 out, 2 in, but the biggest thing is they want to get the ball inside. That's just bread and butter for them, and they have some great post players, so we've got to do a good job containing them inside, and their guards as well. They want to get to the lane and get to the free throw line, so defense is the biggest key for us tonight. And then offensively, you know, it's always the same thing. We want to get the ball inside as well, and we want to get out and run, and transition and score easy layups.
Right, great. Okay, well, good luck, and I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Find out how easy it is to join DATQ. DATQ is the full-service bank for all your banking needs. Come visit one of our 3 Denton locations or log on to datq.org and learn why DATQ is the right bank for you. DATQ, the new place to bank.
McDonald's is proud to support the Texas Women's University Pioneers. With 5 Denton locations, there's a McDonald's near you. All Denton area McDonald's are owned and operated by Phillips Brothers Restaurants.
Tonight's webcast on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network is brought to you in part by the following corporate partners of TWU Athletics: the Hampton Inn and Suites, DFW Marriott Champion Circle, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, the Courtyard by Marriott Denton, El Guapo's Tex-Mex Restaurant, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, and McDonald's of Denton. Welcome back to the Jupiter House Coffee pregame show. It's now time for a scouting report on your TWU Pioneers. The scouting report is brought to you by DATQ. DATQ, the new way to bank. What do you got, Mitch?
Pioneers yesterday, I thought, very impressive win. Very balanced, offensively, defensively, controlled the boards, fewer turnovers, did a great job. They spread the scoring out really well, which, you know, any coach has got to be excited about that because you don't have the one player that the other opponents can shut down and your whole team folds. So, you know, they had 4 players in in double figures. 11 points for Poderocky, 12 points for Mason, 14 points for Thurman, and 8 points for Schlosser. So I think spreading it around is what Coach Gilson wants to see. Today she wants to see a little more enthusiasm, a little more aggressiveness out of her team today. Let's see if they can put that together.
Well, we also mentioned, you talked a lot about it throughout the broadcast yesterday, that they shot 50% from the field as a team, and that was mainly due to the fact that they assisted on 17 of their 28 baskets as a team, which is extremely impressive, and they did a great job sharing the basketball and pushing the ball up the floor as well on a lot of those passes and that unselfishness. And she said in the post-game interview that's the style she's looking to play, is getting up and down the floor. All right, we're going to turn it over to PA announcer Rob Coffey now for the national anthem and the starting lineups.
On the campus of Texas Women's University for the second day of the 2012 Maritime Champion Circle Pioneer Premier. Our final tournament game features the Central Oklahoma Broncos taking on your TWU Pioneers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask you please rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the American flag hanging on the north end of the arena. Performing the national anthem is the Pioneer Pen Band. First for the visiting Broncos from Central Oklahoma. Starting at guard, a 5'10" junior from Hope, Oklahoma, number 1, Jill Bryant. Starting at guard, a 5'5" junior from Pawnee, Oklahoma, number 5, Brittany Morgan. At guard, a 6-foot senior from Preston, Oklahoma, number 21, Savannah Hamilton. At forward, a 6-foot senior from Carver, Oklahoma, number 33, Alyssa Dusa. At guard, a 6-foot freshman from Mustang, Oklahoma, number 34, Whitney Turner. Head coach from Central Oklahoma, Guy Hardacre. He's assisted by Bill Shaw and Heather Davis.
Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. It's hard to yell when the background when you get mouth.
And now, introducing your Texas Women's University Pioneers. Starting at forward, a 6-foot sophomore from Athens, Greece. Please welcome number 3, Ria Poderocky. Starting at guard, a 5'8" junior from Wichita Falls. Please welcome number 4, Becca Cooley. Starting at guard, a 5'10" sophomore from Shreveport, Louisiana. Please welcome number 21, Tori Mason. Starting at guard, a 5'10" junior from Fort Worth. Please welcome number 23, Rachel Slauson. And starting at guard, a 5'6" junior from the Colony. Please welcome number 24, Tad Thurman. The Pioneers are coached by Beth Joseph. She's assisted by Michael Madrid, Jessica Durr, and Ross James. Sharif Colson is the Pioneers out of the restaurant.
All right, so there you have your starting lineups for today's game. Again, TWU Pioneers coming in at 2-0. after beating Ouachita Baptist and Texas A&M International.
All right,
The Broncos entered today's contest at 2-1. They lost to University of Minnesota Duluth and then have beaten Cameron and Angelo State. Just about ready for the opening tip here. Paula Ross, Scott Bagg, Robert Gill, your officials for today's contest. Fourth and final game of the Marriott Champion Circle Pioneer Premier here. First game here today, Angelo State knocked off Texas A&M International 53-43. There's the opening tap, and it's handled by Tabitha Thurman. She gives it off to Cluley. Cluley guarded by Brittany Morgan. And Podaraki tries to find Cluley on a back cut, not there. Ball goes out of bounds, going to go over to the Broncos.
Yeah, pretty good defense by the Broncos there. The back cut was going to work, but they kind of pulled out of it too soon, so turnover.
Morgan brings it up the floor for the Broncos. Now, nice back cut. That time it did work out for the Broncos as Whitney Dunn lays the ball in for the first 2 points of the ball game. Puts Central Oklahoma up 2-0 with 19.5 to go in the first half. Schlosser with it on the right wing for the Pioneers. Almost walked with it.
Yeah, no almost.
Cluley now on the drive. Pull up left side of the lane. Won't go down. Rebound pulled in by Fuchsa. She gets it ahead to Morgan. Back to Fuchsa. Now back to Morgan in front of the TWU bench. Now it swings all the way across to Jill Bryan, who had 19 points in their game yesterday, the win over Angelo State. Long shot on the way there off the mark for Savannah Hamilton, and Podaraki comes up with a rebound. Podaraki brings it all the way across the timeline for the Pioneers. Directing traffic sends Tori Mason through the lane. Now Podaraki's on the right wing, sends it up top to Mason, Tori Mason. Now Schlosser's got it. She dribbles to the free throw line, kicks it back out to Cluley. Still 10 seconds on the shot clock. No panic here for the Pioneers. Schlosser's got it now. Now it's down to 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Podaraki, a little floater off the baseline. Won't go down, but a nice board there by Tori Mason. She's fouled as she puts it back up.
This game seems a little more physical to me than it was yesterday. Started out, there was some pushing. There were a couple of girls down on the floor on the three-point attempt by Central Oklahoma. So should be exciting to see how that finishes out.
That foul was on Whitney Dunn, 6-foot freshman out of Mustang, Oklahoma. Tori Mason at the line. Mentioned Mason had 12 points and 7 rebounds against A&M International yesterday. Made the first, missed the second, so it's 2-1. UCO on top with 18:20 to go in the first half. Morgan tries to get it inside, but it's stolen away from Cluley. Cluley brings it all the way back up the floor, settles it, sends it into the corner to Tori Mason. A two-pointer on the way for hers, off the mark. Ball tipped around but corralled by Whitney Dunn, and she gets it into the hands of Brittany Morgan.
She had a good look at it, just didn't get it to go.
Right side, Savannah Hamilton with the basketball, gets it up top to Jill Bryan. Now back over to the left wing to Morgan. Back to Dunn. Now she loses the ball inside and is picked up by Schlosser. Schlosser with a pass ahead to Podaraki. Podaraki tracks it down on the baseline. Little off balance. Tried to save it, but stepped on the inline.
Yeah, probably should have dribbled the ball down herself, Schlosser, instead of throwing the ball hoping that Podaraki could get there, because it was over her head a little bit, and then she was trapped on the baseline. Had nothing to do.
Yeah, it was a tough angle to catch the pass as well. Savannah Hamilton with it right wing. Sends it up top to Bryan. Back to Morgan. Morgan drives baseline. Reverse layup. Won't go down. It's tipped around. Ball pulled in by Thurman. Thurman sets things up for the Pioneers. Gets it into the hands of Cluley now. Cluley hits Podaraki. Podaraki looks at a couple cutters but kicks it back to Schlosser. Now to Cluley. Cluley pull up in the lane.
Nice
goes
shot.
down. Nice shot for her. She's a lefty.
Yep.
And a nice little pull up on the left side of the lane there. Gives the Pioneers their first lead of the day, 3-2, as we go under 17 minutes to play in the first half. Bryan with it. Sends it to Morgan. Back up top to Fuchsa. Long three on the way for Bryan. That won't go down. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a team rebound for the Pioneers.
Coach Gilson said that they had a lot of easy baskets yesterday. It doesn't look like they're going to have those tonight. I mean, it's a much more aggressive team that they're playing and much more physical team.
Yeah, it seems to be just a little bit bigger team overall
Yeah,
as
it
well.
does.
Now that might be the white uniforms versus the dark uniforms of yesterday.
Offense.
That is an offensive foul called against Tabitha Thurman. I think she pushed off there to try to catch the pass.
Yeah, Savannah Hamilton was on her, which is their center, if you have a center anymore, a 5. I guess she did the jump ball. She looks a lot taller to me than 6 foot.
Well, she's even listed as a guard on the roster. So.
Right. She's a
so
5,
the 6 foot guard.
5'2".
Yeah, the 6 foot guard that jumps the opening tip.
Yeah.
Broncos with the basketball, trail 3-2 right now. Just about 16-10 play here in the first half. A nice entry pass there, but the shot won't go down for Dunn. And the Pioneers come the other way. Cluley with the basketball, hounded right now by Brittany Morgan. Sends it over left wing to Schlosser. Schlosser, nice crossover there. And the shot won't go down, but she's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Beautiful crossover there to get rid of Jill Bryan on the wing, and then 2 defenders stepped up, and one of them got underneath her for the blocking foul. And we have a timeout on the floor. 15:52 to go. TWU 3, Central Oklahoma 2. We'll take a break. Come right back.
Fast Signs of Denton is the official sign provider for your TWU Pioneers. Fast Signs will help you overcome all of your visual communication challenges. Their full-service sign and graphics center uses marketing and sign knowledge, state-of-the-art technology, project management, and innovative thinking to help you meet your business objectives. From vivid banners and graphic posters to outdoor building signs and car graphics, Fast Signs can help you craft the right message and place it in all the places it needs to be.
Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital Denton is the official healthcare provider for TWU Athletics. Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital Denton is a 255-bed hospital featuring more than 43 specialties, accompanied by a relationship-based care model, which places the patient and family at the center of the decision-making process. Healing hands, caring hearts. Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital Denton.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena. 15:52 to go. First half here, TWU Pioneers on top of the Central Oklahoma Broncos 3-2. It's been an interesting first 4 minutes here, Mitch. Almost kind of quiet. It was almost it was a little eerie at the end of that or right at that timeout. The entire place was quiet. Yep. No one in the whole gym was talking, and I was kind of like I thought something was happening.
Right. Yep. Well, if you look at the shooting percentages, nothing's happening. Central Oklahoma 1 of 5 for 20%, and then Texas women 1 of 4 for 25%. So both teams a little bit slow getting started tonight.
That one significant piece there headed into the break. Whitney Dunn picked up her second foul of the game, just as we mentioned, just over 4 minutes in. Rachel Schlosser at the line shooting 2 for the Pioneers. Missed the first and missed the second. The ball tipped around but grabbed by Tab Thurman, so she gets a rebound but then turns it over on the double dribble.
Wait a minute. They're going to discuss it, though. He's going to tell her that it was tipped. Nope.
Not sure what the discussion was or the question was, but regardless, it's Broncos basketball.
Well, yeah, and you really can't. That's not really something you can review. You make that call, you've made it.
Haley Bryan checked in during that last timeout, and she just got a layup. So she made herself known immediately here as the Broncos take a 4-3 lead. She's the sister of Jill Bryan. Now, do you know how to pronounce that? Copan, Oklahoma?
Copan.
Copan. All right. I'll take your word for it.
As long as there's nobody to dispute it.
Potaraki with the ball at the right elbow. Kicks it out to Schlosser. She gets it to Thurman. 8 seconds on the shot clock now. Schlosser back with it in the left corner. Sends it to Cluley down to 4. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Cluley baseline. And it's going to be a shot clock violation against the Pioneers. 15:04 to go. And Central Oklahoma 4, TWU 3. B. Scott Kalb comes in for Cluley for the Pioneers. So you got her, Tab Thurman, Tori Mason, Rhea Potaraki, Rachel Schlosser on the floor for TWU. Haley Bryan with the basketball now. Sends it to her sister Jill Bryan. And all the way to the left wing now. Three-pointer on the way for Brittany Morgan. She knocks it down. So 7-3 now.
Yeah, Pioneers need to get a basket here. They're Central Oklahoma's on a nice little run for them. Pioneers need to knock something down.
Schlosser with the basketball. Pulls up at the free throw line. Off the back of the rim. It won't go. Rebound pulled in by Fuchsa. She gets it in the hands of Morgan. Now back to Fuchsa. Swings it over to Jill Bryan. Jill Bryan dumps it inside to Haley Bryan. Her shot won't go. Rebound comes off, and Tab Thurman in great position for the rebound. Drew the over-the-back call on Haley Bryan.
I don't think there's anyone in the gym that didn't see that over-the-back right there. Coach Gilson was about to run out on the court. I think she wanted that one so bad.
Yeah, that's the kind. Mitch is a high school official, and is that the kind they show you in the videotape training sessions, the over-the-back?
Yeah, and that's the one that you wait because everybody in the Jim saw it, and you wait and wait and wait, and then you blow your whistle just to kind of emphasize it. Yeah, we all saw it.
B. Scott called with the ball now. Gets it to Amanda Mason, who checked in during that dead ball. Schlosser finds Thurman cutting to the basket, but that one doesn't materialize, so now the ball on the left wing to Kolb. Now back to Thurman. Down to 9 on the shot clock now. Also, Caitlin Waller checked in for the Pioneers. And a little turnaround for Mason right down on the left block. Won't go down. Rebound pulled in by Savannah Hamilton. And here come the Broncos. Ball sent out to the left wing. Three-pointer on the way. And good for Savannah Hamilton off the assist from Jill Bryan. So that forces Coach Gilson to take a timeout as Central Oklahoma leads 10-3 with 13:38 to go first half.
Yeah, and Central Oklahoma's hot right now. She just stepped back and nailed that three, but completely opposite of yesterday. There's nothing easy for the Pioneers tonight so far. The defense by the Broncos has just been stifling, and I don't know what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to run more pick and rolls or some more screens or something to get some people freed open, but they're not even really getting any penetration down the lane either. So if you're not doing that, then you got to start knocking down some outside shots to free up that lane a little bit. So we're going to have to see what Coach, she's drawing something up frantically over there. I'm sure she's going to come out with some kind of play to generate a little space for her girls.
Yeah, we mentioned the size differential. I mean, when you look at the starting lineup for Central, the size differential between Texas A&M International and Central Oklahoma. Central Oklahoma brings some size on the floor. It starts with Brittany Morgan, the 5'5" point guard. That's not real big. But then Jill Bryan is 5'10", Savannah Hamilton 6 foot, Alyssa Fuchs is 6 foot, Whitney Dunn 6 foot. Then Whitney Dunn got in foul trouble. They bring in Haley Brown, and she's a 6-footer. So there's a lot of size and a lot of length out there, and the Pioneers trying to adjust to that now on offense, trying to adjust to that defensive size. And don't let Brittany Morgan's 5'5" frame fool you. She's shown already that she can play a little basketball.
Yeah, she does. And what I like about them so far is they don't take anything off, man. They hustle all the time. They got a motor that's always going, very aggressive.
B. Scott called with the basketball, gets it to Schlosser up top. The Pioneers needing a basket here, trailing 10-3 with 13:25 to go in the first half. Thurman with it up top now. And nearly stripped away there. She gets it to Amanda Mason on the left wing. Mason gets it down to Schlosser. Schlosser post up, turnaround, won't go off the glass. Rebound pulled in by Jill Bryan. Jill Bryan pushes it up the right side. Gets it to Savannah Hamilton. Her three won't go. Rebound pulled in by Thurman. Thurman brings it up the right side. Gets it to B. Scott Cole. Cole gets it to Schlosser. Schlosser to Amanda Mason. Mason on the drive, pull up. Shot won't go down. Rebound grabbed by Haley Bryan. So just right now some cold shooting. Pioneers victim to right now, and luckily for them, Brittany Morgan kind of rushed the shot there, and they got the rebound. Tabitha Thurman got the rebound.
They're going
to call a blocking foul against Haley Bryan there. So good break for the Pioneers. That's one of those that could have gone either way, and they're going to give her 2 shots as well. So that's a good break there for the Pioneers. They need to put some points on the board as B. Scott Kolb's going to go and shoot 2.
Yeah, and I kind of thought it was a charge there. I thought that girl was She was there from when they took our tickets when we got in, I thought. But the officials call that a blarge, a block charge. It could go either way. And, maybe saw her leaning because that's why they put them on the floor and us on the sideline so they can get closer to the play. But it is good. We'll take a point any way we can get it here.
Chelsea Robinson checks into the ball game along with, I can't see her number, I believe it's Audra Harris. Yeah, Audra Harris for the Broncos. And Taylor Swift comes into the game for the Pioneers. She's out there with Waller, Amanda Mason, B. Scott Kalb, and Rhea Potaraki. Long three off the mark by the Broncos. Pioneers come the other way. Loose ball saved by Potaraki. She dribbles to the baseline, finds Mason. Amanda Mason inside. Mason's shot off the glass won't go. And now the ball picked up off the rebound by Jill Bryan.
Where 33 Fuchs is really creating some space there in the middle. And she's pushing. She's using a lot of body leverage just to get her space.
10-4, 11:50 to go, first half. And that lob pass there by Brittany Morgan goes out of bounds. So Pioneers a little bit cold on the shooting, but drawing some breaks on the other one with some turnovers by the Broncos. So kind of lucky right now to only trail by 6 with 11:47 to go in the first half. We'll take a break, come right back.
The Forum at Denton Station provides premier student living at an affordable price. Located just 10 minutes from the TWU Denton campus, the Forum offers awesome amenities, including a resort-style pool, stand-up tanning beds, a half-court basketball gym, door-to-door TWU shuttle service, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and a cyber cafe with Wi-Fi access and a coffee bar. The Forum at Denton Station. Make it happen.
Locally owned and operated, Little Guys Movers is a company that's built on sweat, stiff backs, and the simple philosophy of do the right thing by people and you will be rewarded. Little Guys Movers offers local, long-distance, residential, corporate, and commercial moving services. When you're ready to move, give Little Guys a call at 940-484-5467. Little Guys Movers, what moves you?
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena. 11:47 to go, first half. Central Oklahoma Broncos 10, TWU Pioneers 4. And it's been kind of again, kind of like I mentioned at that first media timeout, and then kind of during the game, it's kind of been eerily, except for a couple of three-pointers that kind of got the crowd going, it's been kind of an eerily quiet game.
Yep.
And I think the Pioneers are kind of lucky to only be down 6 right now, and I don't think in any way we feel like they're out of this at all. It's been a really slow start for them.
Yeah, they're shooting 11%, 1 of 9. But to me, what's a little more troubling is the 2 of 6 from the free throw line, because those are points that you got to have right there.
And certainly you make those 4, and all of a sudden it's 10-8 instead of 10-4.
Right.
Tori Mason on the drive. Ball rattles around. She gets her own rebound, puts it up. That rattles off the side of the rim, and rebound pulled in by Alyssa Fuchsa. Substitution, Rachel New into the ball game for the Broncos, running the point now. She's a 5'1" junior, and inside, Alyssa Fuchsa with the basket makes it 12-4.
Pretty nice move right there, just kind of weaving her way through traffic and put it up off the glass, got it in.
Well, and after seeing that 50% shooting from the floor for the Pioneers, they're now 1 of 11, so about 9% right now. There is no way, after I watched that yesterday, that that's going to last.
Right.
So these shots are going to start falling, and the question is, can they hang on long enough, as another shot is missed by Potaraki, and a great rebound there by Caitlin Waller, and she's fouled in the act of shooting, so she'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, if you're not going to make the field goal, though, you got to start converting on the free throw line, and that's what we need to see right here.
Yep, absolutely. And again, we mentioned yesterday, Pioneers had 28 baskets and had assists on 17 of those 28, shot 50% from the field. So, and the free throw by Waller is off the mark, but right now, Pioneers just 1 of 12 from the field here to start, and that's obviously the issue right now. And the looks aren't that terrible. They're just some weird bounces and bad bounces. And
there's a cover over the rim or something.
I'm feeling like we're going to rattle off 4 or 5 baskets in a row here to make those numbers back up, because percentages don't lie. There's a weak side rebound by Alyssa Fuchsa off a miss from Savannah Hamilton, and so now Fuchsa's going to go to the line and shoot 2 free throws.
Yes, and somebody left Hamilton alone over there on the backside, and fortunate that she didn't make it, but then they picked up the rebound there, and the Pioneers fouled her just to prevent her from having any kind of easy shot there.
That foul was on Caitlin Waller. That's her first, team's second foul. Central Oklahoma has 5 team fouls. And that free throw rattles out for Fuchsa. She's a 6-foot senior out of Garber, Oklahoma.
With the biggest fan base here at the game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of cool signs and some yellow T-shirts over there.
Yep.
She makes the second, so it's 13-5 now. UCO on top of TWU. 10:29 to play first half. Potaraki with it now. Up top. Puts it on the floor, dribbles down the side of the lane, and they're going to get her for an offensive foul as she knocks over Chelsea Robinson, who came in during those free throws. And that's going to be a turnover and a foul on Potaraki. So 13-5, 10:21 to go, first half. And like I said, I just keep getting the feeling we're going to rattle off, but we got to rattle them off pretty quick.
We need to. we got some doing to do, as
exactly.
Spike Dykes would say.
Exactly. There's Jill Bryan on the drive, skips it all the way out across, and then it goes into the hands of Alyssa Fuchsa, who shoots an air ball, and the rebound comes down in the hand of the Pioneers. And here comes Potaraki, hands it off to B. Scott Kolb. Kolb to Tori Mason. Mason drives, pull up, goes down.
There we go.
Pioneers needed that bucket in a big way. 13-7 now, 9:50 to go. You could almost feel the crowd here hold their collective breath there as that ball was up, thinking, surely one of these is going to go down.
Got to go now.
And it did. Caught no iron and swished it right through the net. Now comes Fuchsa, and she does the same thing, touching no iron as she knocks it in, pushes the lead back to 8 for the Broncos. Mason sends it out to Waller, top of the key, 3 on the way. She knocks it down. Huge basket for the Pioneers there as they cut the lead to 15-10 with 9:20 to go. Now, Mitch, you're the official. Do you not have to count there? There was only one player back, and she didn't take the ball out of bounds. And
I probably would have started something, but these guys are doing college and I do high school, so they know something, right?
I just wondered what the protocol was because she had not officially taken the ball across the inline to the out-of-bounds area, but she's standing there waving somebody to inbound it. And air ball thrown up by Jill Bryan, and the rebound is going to be credited to Potaraki, who saved it in to Caitlin Waller. Now Potaraki on the backside. Nice find by B. Scott Kolb. 15-12 now. Pioneers right back in this as Guy Hardacre calls a timeout with 8:44 to go first half.
Yeah, I think the difference so far in the run that we've had is Rachel New, the point guard for Central Oklahoma, very diminutive. If you look at her, what do they have her down here as 5'1"? That's probably pretty accurate. And she's quick, but physically she can't match up with anybody, and so it's created some open looks. And when was it Waller knocked down the three-pointer from the top? That was the most open look we've had all night, and some of that is because of the small New for the Broncos.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a little bit of that yesterday with Reniki Amishak from Texas A&M International. She's not real big. I think she went, what'd she go, 5'4" maybe?
Yep.
I think it was, 5'4". So we saw a little bit of that outsized up top, and you're right.
And Coach Hardacre, she was the first one he talked to after his timeout right there. When he called him over to the sideline, she was the first one.
Broncos basketball. They lead by 3, and a nice play there out of the timeout. A little lob pass from Jill Bryan into Fuchsa. Fuchsa puts a little hook shot up off the glass, takes the lead back to 5. Potaraki with it now, left side of the lane, gives it to Cluley. They're in there with Schlosser, Waller, and Tori Mason, who gets credit for that rebound because she tipped it into the hands of Rachel Schlosser off the miss from Waller. So new shot clock for the Pioneers. Cluley with the basketball now. Sends it, tries to get it to Potaraki. Good hustle there by Tori Mason. And a beautiful post move there by Potaraki. Potaraki, from the look on her face off the first time she wanted it, and off of that move right there, looks like she's ready to try to take over this game for the Pioneers.
I think she's a little frustrated and wants the rock so she can start doing something with it.
3 on the way for Hamilton. Doesn't go down. Pioneers come up with a rebound, and Cluley with it now. Dribbles in the lane, pull up off the glass, won't go down. And rebound taken by Jill Bryan. And she gets it into the hands of Rachel New, and they slow things down a little bit, and they're going to run one of their sets here. Jill Bryan into the high post to Fuchsa. Fuchsa back to Bryan. Bryan sends it to New, swings it quickly over to Hamilton. Now to Fuchsa. 8 on the shot clock, and Fuchsa just loses the ball out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Pioneers, who trail 17-14 with 7:19 to go here in the first half. We got a timeout on the floor. We'll take a break, come right back.
At First United Bank, we know you have a choice in determining where to do your banking and selecting the type of personal banking accounts that will help you best reach your financial goals. That's why we offer an array of options from which you may choose to make your money work harder and go farther for you. First United Bank, all that matters is the size of your dreams.
Shutt Sports is proud to support Texas Women's University Athletics and the Lone Star Conference. Shutt Sports offers the best in football, softball, and baseball helmets. Shutt Sports is also the official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Find out more about Shutt Sports at shuttsports.com. That's SCHUTT sports.com.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena. 7:19 to go, first half. Central Oklahoma leads TWU 17-14 here. You're listening to women's basketball on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network, home of the maroon and white. Mitch has got some stats for us.
Yeah, and starting to flow back the way we wanted to now. The Pioneers up to 27.8, 28% shooting. Central Oklahoma 36% shooting. The free throws, though, still kind of an issue. 37%, 3 of 8. So Pioneers controlling the boards. They've got one more rebound. They got one fewer turnover. So they just got to get the shots start falling.
And that 27.8% may not sound real great, and it's not real great, but at one point it was down at about 8 or 9%.
Yeah.
So it looks real good right now compared to that. And they try to get into Cluley inside. They do. Oh, man. Really nice shot she put up off balance there that hung on the rim for a minute and then dropped off the right side. And rebound came down into the hands of Brittany Morgan. Haley Bryan with it now back to Morgan. So they got Rachel New out of the game there, gave Morgan a rest, and they're back to their 5'5" point guard out of Pawnee, Oklahoma. She's got the ball now in the lane, kicks it out. And now the ball moves around to the left side. Drive there by Jill Bryan. She loses the ball. They were down on the shot clock anyway. Cluley loses it. Now Fuchsa goes in, and Fuchsa
got hammered.
Was hit pretty hard there on that foul by Cluley. And
Cluley was
going to go line and shoot too.
Yeah, Cluley was trying to go up the sideline there, and as she was trying to cross over, the ball actually hit the foot of the defender, and it just stopped right there, and her momentum carried her past it. Well, the Fuchsa was standing right there, and it was off her foot. She picked it up and took it straight in, and then Cluley responded by knocking her down so she couldn't make the shot.
And Fuchsa's first free throw, goes down. 18-14 now, Central Oklahoma. And 6:28 to go, first half. Fuchsa's second free throw on the way and good. So that takes away a little bit of the sting of that fall to the floor. She makes both free throws and puts them back up by 5.
She's been kind of a spark plug. She's got 5 points for them off the bench already.
Tori Mason with the basketball now. Gives it to Podaraki. Podaraki over to Schlosser. Schlosser to Mason. Mason, jumper just inside the top of the key. Won't go down. Rebound grabbed by Fuchsa. But she's tied up from behind by Rhea Podaraki. Jump ball. It's still going to stay with the Broncos, but good hustle there.
Yeah.
By the Pioneers.
Yeah, if you don't get the rebound, then jump in there and tie them up. And that's what they did.
Brittany Morgan.
I think she's the key to their offense, is Brittany Morgan, because they suffered a little bit when she went out.
She gets to Fuchsa. Fuchsa with the ball, up top of the key, and they're going to get Tab Thurman on a push from behind there on Haley Bryan. There was a lob pass going inside that looked like it was going to be caught, and Tab Thurman made sure that didn't happen. So I'm not an official of any level, and I saw that. So. And off the inbound play, Podaraki fouls Fuchsa, and that's going to send Fuchsa to the line again. She had 14 points and 8 rebounds yesterday against Angelo State, and putting some points on the board.
Yeah, she's going to get
already here today.
person off the bench award already, right?
Well, she started. Fuchsia did.
She did?
Pardon me. Yes, she did.
Okay.
Yep.
Never mind then.
And she's just made that free throw, so she's at 10 points now and 4 rebounds during that last media timeout. So she's already putting some numbers up here with 5:45 to go in the first half. Jordan Ward out of Alvord, Texas, checks in for the Broncos.
You know, Central Oklahoma is the 3rd largest university in the state of Oklahoma.
Let's see. Let me guess the first 2.
Okay.
Whitney Dunn checks in for Alyssa Fuchsa. Southeastern Oklahoma, is that the biggest?
That would be incorrect.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. How about Oklahoma and Oklahoma State?
The 1 and 2, yes.
Pioneers with the ball. Trail 21-14 now. Waller with it and sends it through the hands of Tori Mason. 5:31 to go, first half. And lots and lots of stuff gone wrong for TWU here in this first half, but they only trail by 7.
Right, yeah. And we saw already the run that they put together, so, you know, far from over.
It could be a lot worse.
Can't let her have that, though.
Hamilton, three-pointer, won't go down. Amanda Mason with it now. Looks ahead, finds B. Scott Kolb. Kolb tries a crossover, but instead kicks it back out to Tori Mason. Her 3 won't go down. Rebound pulled in by Whitney Dunn, who's been on the bench for a while with 2 fouls. She's back out there now. B. Scott Kolb
traveled, didn't she?
Yeah, she creates a turnover there. She got her hand on the ball when Jordan Ward had it and forced Ward to travel. So, again, Pioneers back with the basketball. Trail by 7. 5 minutes to play here, first half. B. Scott Kolb with it now. Sends it to Amanda Mason. Mason to Waller. Looks for Schlosser on the back cut. It's not there. Schlosser then gets it on the wing. Now Amanda Mason drives down left side of the lane. Picks the ball up at the elbow and gives it to Kolb. Kolb swings it across to Mason. Tori Mason on the drive down the lane. Nice. Finger roll over the front of the rim. Goes down. 21-16 now, Pioneers.
Yeah, she just beat her person all the way to the goal right there. Took it from the top and just raced him to the goal.
So Pioneers sticking around. And they try to go inside to Haley Bryan, but the pass off her hands goes out of bounds, and the Pioneers will get it back as Taylor Swift checks in now for Amanda Mason. So you got B. Scott Kolb, Taylor Swift, Rachel Schlosser, Caitlin Waller, Tori Mason on the floor right now for the Pioneers, who trail 21-16 with 4:19 to play in the first half. B. Scott Kolb sends it over to Swift. Swift gets it to Waller. Waller to Mason, right side. Now back up to Swift at the top. Kolb with it. Gets it to Mason. 10 on the shot clock. Schlosser now with the basketball. Waller, three-pointer on the way. Won't go down. Rebound pulled in by Ward. Ward brings it up the other way. Gets it in the hands of Morgan. Morgan dumps it inside to Dunn. Dunn puts up a left-hander off the glass. It won't go down, but the rebound's pulled in by Haley Bryan, who puts it back in off the glass and increases the lead back to 7 for the Broncos.
Yeah, those second chance points you just want to eliminate right there, and she had to work to get it, but she was in position to do it.
And nice pull-up jumper there by Tori Mason. Keeps the Pioneers well within reach, trailing by 5 now with 3:20 to go in the first half. Morgan with it on the right side. Tries to send it inside, but it's tipped by Waller and then goes into the hands of Tori Mason. Schlosser with it now, gets it to Kolb. Kolb to Waller, over to Mason. Three-pointer on the way, Tori Mason. That won't go. Weird bounce, almost got to Kolb, but instead Jordan Ward tracks it down. She waits to see what Coach Guy Hardacre is going to say.
I think they're all a little gassed here trying to catch their breath.
Morgan with it now, sends it to Dunn. Dunn over to Hamilton. Hamilton back to Ward. Now to Morgan. She drives, pulls up. Pulls up at the right elbow and was fouled in the act of shooting by Taylor Swift. And the TWU faithful do not agree with that call. Not in any way, shape, or form. All right, we've reached our final media timeout of the first half here. 2:32 to go in the first half. Central Oklahoma 23, TWU 18. We'll take a break, come right back.
Groggy Dog Sportswear is the official screen printer for TWU Athletics. At Groggy Dog, our strength is in our people. We have a very dedicated, professional team that includes sales and customer service, graphic design, and production. Contact Groggy Dog today at 940-891-4022 and let them help you with your next apparel purchase for your school, sports team, or business.
At Texas Spine, Orthopedics, and Rehabilitation in Denton, the doctors and staff are committed to providing comprehensive quality diagnosis and treatment of all orthopedic conditions and spine care. Dr. Paul Watley and the rest of the team at Texas Spine, Orthopedics, and Rehabilitation also provide top-notch care for the TWU Pioneers. Texas Spine, Orthopedics, and Rehabilitation. They're members of Texas Health Physicians Group.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena, where the Central Oklahoma Broncos lead the TWU Pioneers 23-18 with 2 minutes and 32 seconds left to play here in this first half. Broncos have Brittany Morgan at the line right now to shoot 2 free throws as she is fouled on a jumper from the right elbow by Taylor Swift.
Yeah, the rebound margin has swung the other way now, where the Lady Broncos 19 total rebounds to 16 for the Pioneers. So maybe an indication of the way the run stopped for the Pioneers. That's how it did it. So shooting percentage 28% for the Pioneers, 36 for the Broncos.
Morgan makes 1 of 2 free throws, so lead now at 6 for the Broncos. Mary Coveton, 6'6", out of Ukraine, checked in
Here's
for
what
the
I want to
Pioneers
see.
at that last break, and the ball tipped out of bounds there by the Broncos.
Yeah, now I think she has a tremendous size advantage. Of course, she does on most
pretty much anybody, right?
Yeah, but I think they need to try to exploit that right here and see if they can't get it down to her on the block and see what happens.
Taylor Swift triggers the inbounds to Tori Mason.
Or do
that. He hits a nice jumper there to cut the lead now down to 4, which is the closest the Pioneers have been in quite a while. Now on the drive here.
Yeah, they're going to get a little block.
Chelsea Dennis, who checked in during that last timeout. He's a sophomore out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Coveton was
fouled.
Yeah, she was about a half second late getting there, so she just kind of threw her hip into the shooter, and that was what the foul was.
Yeah, that's the first foul on Mary Coveton and the 8th team foul against the Pioneers as Dennis knocks down the free throw to push the lead back to 5.
Coach Gilson wasn't very happy about that either. She wanted Coveton to get over there and get her hands up.
I wasn't real happy about it either, but my opinion doesn't count. Dennis makes a second free throw, puts it back to a 6-point lead now for the Broncos.
Oh, that's a bad pass.
And that ball nearly stolen, but good hustle there by Taylor Swift to get at least a tie-up out of it, and the possession arrow favors the Pioneers, so they'll hang on to it.
Yeah, and that's the best result you can hope for after that pass, because that was pretty ill-advised. Nobody was even there.
Amanda Mason with it now, gets it to Kolb. Kolb all the way across to Tori Mason. Inside to Amanda Mason. And I couldn't see because I was blocked by the official, but I do know it was stolen away by the Broncos. And now Morgan finds Ward. Ward in for the layup, but her layup won't go down.
Mary.
And rebound pulled in by Coveton. B. Scott Call back with it for the Pioneers.
There you go.
Oh, what a nice move by her,
Kick
but
ball.
the ball's loose all over the floor, and it hits off of a Bronco on the way out of bounds, so it's going to stay with the Pioneers. And we got a timeout on the floor called by the Pioneers, 32nd timeout, so we'll stay right here. 26-20, Central Oklahoma on top of TWU, 1:26 to go, first half. Mitch, at that last media timeout, I said we could be down. We were down by 5. I said we could be down by 15.
Yep.
We could be down by 20. I mean, because the shots haven't fallen. We've had some turnovers, but thankfully for us, they've had some turnovers too, and they've taken some quick shots when maybe, a little bit more offense might have gotten them some better shots.
Yeah, and you can tell that their whole game plan is push, 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 and that's what they've been doing. Coach Gilson, if you get to the locker room and you're only down 6, hopefully we can cut that maybe in half. The positive you take from it is we are only down 6. We've played, not to the level that we're used to playing, and we're only down 6. Let's put it together in the second half, and we got a great chance.
Right, and they we said yesterday the Pioneers shot 50% from the field, shooting 28% right now. Even if you can bump that to 40, it's a different ball game. Taylor Swift on the inbounds. Throws it long, and it goes out of bounds.
Okay, goes back here. She should have picked it up. When it's untouched on the floor like that and it goes out of bounds, it goes back to where the inbounder was. So Central Oklahoma had a chance to pick it up and didn't.
Yeah, and I guess
it's not like a football game where you get the ball at the 50 as opposed to the end zone, but
Dennis with the basketball now dumps it inside to Dunn, who walks with it but gets away with it. And thankfully it doesn't cost the Pioneers any points because she missed the shot. Here comes B. Scott Kolb with it now. Gives it to Amanda Mason. Finds Tori Mason on the back cut. Tori Mason in.
And he got a rebound.
Shot won't go. Caitlin Waller almost gets a rebound, but instead it comes into the hands of Jordan Ward. She penetrates but has nothing, so pulls it back out and then kicks it to Haley Bryan. Now Bryan drives the lane, thinks wiser, and kicks it back out to Ward. Now it's into the hands of Brittany Morgan. Morgan drives baseline, cut off there by Amanda Mason. Good defense here so far by the Pioneers in this possession. 7 seconds left on the shot clock now. Chelsea Dennis with it. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. That shot is not out of her hands. Shot clock violation on the Broncos. Great defensive stand there by the Pioneers. And
great defense by Swift and by B. Scott. Both of them with the two quickest players on the other team. And essentially just made them run the perimeter of the three-point arc because they couldn't get any penetration there. So great defensive job by the Pioneers.
And they trail, TWU does, 26-20. And there's 32.5 seconds left on the game clock and 30 seconds left on the shot clock. We'll see. Make the assumption here, TWU may take it all the way down so that the Broncos don't have a chance to get another shot off.
And all those subs by the Broncos trying to get those starters just a little bit more time to rest during halftime.
Yeah, Rachel New, Chelsea Robinson in for them. Audra Harris also on the floor now for the Broncos.
Broncos need a basket right here. Here we go.
Schlosser on the drive. It rattles around and stays in the hole. 26-22 now, Pioneers. Now they got to play good defense here for the last 5 seconds of this half to make sure that the Broncos don't get a shot off. And they do just that as the loose ball's on the floor, goes out of bounds. And unless I'm wrong, wasn't it? Yes, now they put the points on the board. I was waiting there.
It took them a while.
TWU Pioneers 26-22. They trail Central Oklahoma here at the end of the first half. But I think very thankful to be trailing only by 4 as they got a big basket there at the end and then managed to let a loose ball roll on the floor and let time run out. So that brings it into the first half with the Pioneers down by 4. You're listening to TWU Basketball on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network, home of the Maroon and White. We'll be back to hear from TWU Athletic Director Shalise Connors in just a moment and give you some first half stats when we return for the Point Bank halftime show. Point Bank, a better way to bank.
At Point Bank, we know our area, we know our people, and we have since 1884. Would you like a personal banking experience with the same security the big banks offer? The friendly and helpful people of Point Bank are from your own Denton community, which means that your needs are foremost. Because convenience is so important to you, Point Bank offers 9 locations, 24-hour express banking, and free online banking. Visit pointbank.com to find the location nearest you and come on by to let our friendly staff help you with your banking needs.
The Denton Record Chronicle is the place to get the latest TWU athletics news. Read our print edition or visit us at dentonrc.com. The Denton Record Chronicle also provides the best coverage of all the local high schools, as well as the Rangers, Stars, Cowboys, and Mavericks. That's the Denton Record Chronicle, your news source for Denton County.
Tonight's webcast on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network is brought to you in part by the following corporate partners of TWU Athletics: the Hampton Inn and Suites, DFW Marriott Champion Circle, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, the Courtyard by Marriott Denton, El Guapo's Tex-Mex Restaurant, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, and McDonald's of Denton.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena. We are at halftime of this NCAA women's basketball game between your TWU Pioneers and the Central Oklahoma Broncos. Broncos leading right now 26-22. We are pleased to be joined by TWU Athletics Director Shalise Connors for what I'm going to call the State of the University address.
Thanks,
for
Steve.
you. And before we get to some questions, I've said a couple times now, I think we're lucky to only be down by 4 at the half.
Oh, I would agree. I mean, this is early basketball. It's not really pretty sometimes.
Right.
But fortunately for us, Central Oklahoma really hasn't taken advantage of all of our mistakes.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Maybe you should sit here instead of Mitch, because that's what basically we were saying too.
Yeah, but I can't cheer as loudly as I'd like to.
That makes it tough. So we said we shot 50% from the floor yesterday, and at one point we were 1 of 12, which my math isn't very good, but that's somewhere around 8 or 9%.
Right.
And we're back up to 32% now, which is great. But that's exactly what we were saying was Central Oklahoma was turning the ball over and then taking some quick shots. So I think I'm happy that we're only down 4. I think
We're
Coach
in
Gilson
this.
would be too.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, well, I know you said it's early in the season. We're just getting ready to just get going in full gear with basketball, but you recently wrapped up your 2 fall sports, volleyball and soccer.
We
so
sure did.
Tell us a little bit about how those Pioneer teams fared.
Oh, I'm so proud of both those teams. Soccer had an amazing season. You know, last year to be competitive and only have 1 win in the victory column last year, and to really come in and say, we're going to turn this thing around. We're going to turn the ship and go in the right direction. And Coach Benatar did that, and a lot of great kids and some veterans all pulled together and went to the conference tournament. Yeah. So it was an amazing season. We set some records. We won at home. We had some shooters and some scorers and some great defense, and it all really came together. So I'm very proud of that. And then volleyball was phenomenal. Coach Barbary had a 23-8 record. We set the school record for most conference victories. We were practically undefeated on our home court, and we went to the conference tournament. We made it through the first round, got to the second round, and we're playing Angelo State. Angelo State's getting to be like one of our rivals now because in the semifinals against them, and they were at that time I think ranked 11th in the country. We beat them 6 days before. They were number 9 in the country, and we beat them here on senior day. And so we had this momentum going in there. We took them to 5 sets and didn't quite get it. It's kind of hard to beat them on your home court, but I'm very proud. Volleyball and soccer did awesome, and now the momentum is rolling. Basketball's got to keep it going.
Absolutely, sounds great. And we talked yesterday about gymnastics as well. We had Lisa Bowerman on the air, so
yes.
That's
gearing up.
Not till January, but it still feels like it's right around the corner. By the time we get through Thanksgiving and Christmas, it'll be here.
Right.
So, well, one of the things we talked about in the post-game yesterday, Rhea Podaraki was our Pioneer Player of the Game, and so got to talk a little bit to her about being here from Greece. And so we do have the 2 international players on the Pioneer basketball team this year. Talk a little, please, about the team effort that goes into getting Rhea and Mary Coveton. What happened getting them here to TWU?
Right.
And then what also do you do as a AD and as a university to make sure they're successful in this atmosphere?
Well, this is something relatively new for TWU Athletics, to have as many international student athletes as we have. We've got 7 this year.
Wow.
Usually we've had 1 or maybe 2. And not really been our focus, but I will say to get those kind of students here, I think it's a 2-pronged effort. You've got coaches that are developing channels of communication with junior colleges, and those junior colleges have got those international kids coming in because they may not be completely eligible right when they come to this country. Or we do have a great network of our colleagues in other schools, other coaches that might call up and say, "Hey, I got a great kid. She came to my team. She's not going to really, I want her to play. She's not going to really be in my lineup. She's not going to get the minutes that she deserves, but she'd be great for you." And that's the kind of relationships that Coach Gilson has. Those are the kind of relationships that our coaches are developing across sports. So I think, plus we did send our soccer coach over to England a couple times, and she's been recruiting overseas. And so developing those lines of communication with those coaches and developing. And hopefully when these kids get here and they have great experiences, they're going back home. And they're telling their teammates down there, "Hey, listen, you can come play at a great place at TWU and get an education." As far as taking care of them when we get them here, that's really important. But I can tell you, international student athletes love coming to school. They know how precious this education is. They're focused. They have to make good grades or they can't stay in school. and keep their scholarships. So, we've got the usual study halls, the tutoring, the normal stuff that we'd give a regular student athlete. We just make sure that they have everything they need, that if they need a little more help with writing English, if English is not their first language, we have the right site. If they need a little more help with understanding a concept that can't translate from their language into English, we'll get the tutors that can do that. So it's very much hands-on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you said if you're lucky enough, maybe, word of mouth, or they tell somebody to come here or whatever. Well, Rhea played on the 20 and under Greek national team, so maybe she's got some friends. And maybe Mary Coveton has some other 6'6" family members we don't know about.
I would love it. Let's bring them all.
You never know. I was talking to Mike Madrid, the assistant coach, yesterday before the game, and I was unable to come to the Hardin-Simmons scrimmage, so I had not seen Mary Coveton. And I said, is she legit 6'6"? And he said, oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, and sweet as can be.
Yeah, I love seeing her out there and getting some time. So, well, I did see on the TWU Athletics Facebook page that your Pioneer student athletes are volunteering for the Salvation Army Red Kettle Drive this month. Tell us a little bit about those efforts.
Well, we're very, very proud of our student athletes. They take the initiative. They come up with the community service projects, and one of them is the Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign. The UNT athletics director, Rick Villarreal, and I had the honor to kick it off for the whole city of Denton with the mayor on Friday. And this is the time of season where you're going to see the red buckets out at the area grocery stores and retail stores. And the little bell is going to be ringing. Our student athletes sign up for shifts. And they go out there and they wear the aprons and they're ringing the bell and they're raising money because, we're at the seventh fastest growing city in the United States right now. Denton, Texas is. But that just means there's need, Steve. There's a lot of need. There's people out there that are struggling. Texas has been kind of isolated and insulated, I guess, to say, with the economy. But we've got people who have great need, and the Salvation Army helps take care of that, and we're very proud to be part of that effort.
Awesome. Well, finally, you recently helped induct the TWU Athletics Hall of Fame class of 2012. Please share a little bit of that experience with our listeners.
What can I say about that? It's really remarkable because we don't do it very often. We don't do it every year. We have a committee that gets together and we see which student athletes, former student athletes, what former administrators and coaches are eligible for the Hall, because we have criteria that are in place. And we look past and we look at our greats and who's in the Hall of Fame. And what can we do to get the next group in? And so we had a wonderful, wonderful group of people that went in, and we added a new category with a team of distinction. We don't have, we've got teams such as, maybe in the future we've got gymnastics teams that have won national championships. We have a basketball team that won the first ever Lone Star Conference championship. Well, in 1979, our softball team won a national championship, the first one ever for that sport, and they had to beat UCLA back to back because it was a double elimination bracket. And that team we put in as a team of distinction. And we also inducted Jamie Ingram, a former softball catcher. And we also inducted Teresa Flores, a softball shortstop. Happened to have a softball theme this year. We had 250 people at a banquet, and Dr. Stewart, our chancellor and president, was there to welcome everybody. And it's one of those things where you just take a walk down memory lane and you go, oh my gosh, what you women did was an amazing accomplishment. And we have all of our student athletes in attendance, and they come to me and they say, you know what? When you told me we had to go to this banquet, I was like, really? I got to sit in the banquet? What, I'm going to listen to some old woman yak or whatever. And then they come back and they said, thank you, Ms. Connors, because it was a truly appreciative of the history. You got to tell these kids the history. So it's nice to have our fans come and relive some of the memories, and then have those former student athletes and coaches up on the stand with getting their award and taking all those pictures and looking at the video. And it was just a great, great night, and I'm looking forward, again, we'll look and see in a couple years if we have another group that's ready to go in, but I believe I think we've had 12 classes now go in since 1995, and it's a wonderful group of people, and very, very proud of our alums.
Awesome stuff. So, and you mentioned Chancellor Stewart, so she announced just 3 days ago her resignation. So tell us a little bit about your relationship. I'll put you on the spot. This is an extra question I didn't prep you for.
That's okay. So. She's sitting 2 rows behind me here. So
I see her right
there.
Dr.
Stewart.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah, she's a big basketball fan.
Oh, good.
No, she announced her retirement. The woman has done a remarkable job. She's been here since 1999. I cannot tell you how proud and wonderful it is to go to work every day knowing that from the top down you have support of athletics. And she has been a Pioneer fan, and I'm going to miss her. She listens to what I have to say,
right?
And she'll
that's a plus.
Yeah, she'll take a meeting with me if I ask, and and really wants to make sure that we have the best for our student athletes and cares about the students. And that's, we're going to find somebody to continue to lead TWU into the next decade. But what she has done turning enrollment around, I mean, we were on a 5-year decline, and now we're at an all-time high, over 15,000. She built Houston, the campus, without any Texas state money. It was all private donated. She's built the Dallas campus with T. Boone Pickens and others with donations. And what she's done on this campus, I can't say enough for Dr. Stewart, and what amazing support through and through for her. I'm going to miss her, but we got her probably for at least until 2014. She's announced her retirement, and that's going to give the Board of Regents a chance to really do a thorough search. Right. We're going through a accreditation, like every university. You have to go through accreditation process, so she's going to see us through the accreditation process to get our reaccreditation, which will be awesome. That's a big, big academic undertaking. And so I imagine, we'll have a big party and send off in 2014, and she'll ride off in the sunset but still remain a Pioneer fan for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of what we all like to do, right? We dream about riding off in the sunset as a success, right?
She will, absolutely.
Well, thanks a lot, Shalise, for joining us again. We have been pleased to be joined by TWU Athletic Director Shalise Connors, and best of luck with the rest of the athletic season.
Hey, thanks. I'll pop on here later on in the season, okay?
Sounds great.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks a lot. All right, you are listening to the Point Bank Halftime Show. And again, that was TWU Athletic Director Shalise Connors. We appreciate her stopping by to talk to us. That interview was brought to you by Fuzzy's Taco Shop. Fuzzy's Taco Shop. Welcome to your new addiction. You're listening to TWU Basketball on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network. The TWU Pioneers trail the Central Oklahoma Broncos 26-22 here at the half. We will take a break and come back with some stats from color commentator Mitch Cullen.
Alpha Graphics is the official printing company for TWU Athletics. Whether you need printing or mailing services or a complete set of marketing solutions, Alpha Graphics is the right team for you. Get more information at alphagraphics.com or call 940-891-1200. When you choose Alpha Graphics, you choose results.
You may think all investment firms are the same. However, Edward Jones has made a conscious decision to serve you, the individual investor, differently. It's more than lip service. See for yourself how this approach can help make a difference for you and your family. Call Edward Jones of Denton at 940-565-0100 and start making sense of your investing.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena. Central Oklahoma 26, TWU 22. We're just winding down the halftime here at the arena. And Mitch, you got some stats for us?
I do. This is how close this game is, okay? It's a 4-point game, so it's got to be close anyway. Central Oklahoma, 24 shots, made 8 of them. The Pioneers, 28 shots, made 9 of them. Rebounds, 20 for the Broncos, 19 for the Pioneers. Turnovers, 9 apiece. The biggest difference in the game so far is the free throws, where the Broncos have made 8 of their 10 shots, whereas the Pioneers have only made 3 of 8. So the biggest difference in this game right now is the free throw shooting. Everything else is pretty even.
All right, and that brings an end to the Point Bank halftime show and a beginning to what we hope is going to be a terrific second half of basketball for TWU here.
Yep.
Again, we talked with you during the first half, talked with Shalise Connors, the TWU AD, during the halftime interview. I think, and I'll ask Coach Gilson after the game, we're extremely lucky to only be down 4 points right now. And so I'm hoping we'll come out with everything kind of flipped over and fresh here in the second half.
Got to start quicker than we started the game.
Absolutely. Central Oklahoma basketball to start the game. Jill Bryan with the basketball now on the right wing. Tori Mason, Rhea Potaraki, Tabitha Thurman, Rachel Schlosser, Rebecca Cluley start things off for the Pioneers here in the second half. And that was a pretty nice move there by Whitney Dunn. She puts in a little left-hander in the lane to push the lead to 28-22. Tori Mason gives it to Cluley. Back to Mason. Over in the corner to Schlosser. Jill Bryan, Savannah Hamilton, Alyssa Fuchsa, Brittany Morgan,
nice cut.
And Whitney Dunn out there for the Broncos to start this second half. Pioneers have a turnover there, and Broncos bring it back the other way. Morgan gives it to Dunn, over to Bryan. And layup won't go down for Fuchsa, but Dunn gets the rebound, and she misses a shot too.
Yeah,
so,
Fuchs is the only player they've got in double figures, and no one else is even close. 4 is the next closest, so put a little extra work in on her, and things should turn around pretty quick.
Tori Mason saved a tough pass on the baseline and found Schlosser in the corner, but her three-pointer wouldn't go down. Central Oklahoma with the rebound, and Dunn quickly the other way gets a long pass from Brittany Morgan and lays it in, and doubles the halftime lead to 8 at 30-22, and Coach Gilson forced to call timeout. That will be a 30-second timeout, which automatically goes to a full as the first one of the second half, so we will take a break. 18:31 to go. Pioneers trail by 8. We'll be right back.
McDonald's is proud to support the Texas Women's University Pioneers. With 5 Denton locations, there's a McDonald's near you. All Denton area McDonald's are owned and operated by Phillips Brothers Restaurants.
D&D Sports Medicine offers the most experienced outpatient rehabilitation clinics in Denton, Sanger, Aubrey, and Little Elm. D&D takes pride in being a dedicated and distinguished healthcare provider. D&D Sports Med firmly embraces the philosophy of exceptional orthopedic and sports medicine knowledge, professional service, and operational excellence needed to consistently provide the highest value to the patients we serve. D&D Sports Medicine will help you get back in the game.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena. 18:31 to go. Second half, Pioneers with the basketball, but they trail by 8 points now after trailing by just 4 at halftime. Whitney Dunn comes out and scores the first 4 points of the second half for the Central Oklahoma Broncos.
Yeah, that's why they called the Coach Gilson called that quick timeout, because we said, they can't start out as slow as they started the game, and she's trying to keep it from going that way.
Foster with the basketball now, sends it right wing to Cluley. She gets it to Mason, over to Thurman. Now to Potaraki, back to Cluley, and there's going to be a blocking foul called here against Central Oklahoma.
Yep.
So that'll help in 2 ways, as the Pioneers get a fresh shot clock up from 6 seconds that was left on it, and they pick up a foul against don't know who they called that foul on. They've still got 50 on the scoreboard, and they don't have a 50 out there. Long 3 on the way. Potaraki won't go down, but the Pioneers get the rebound, and that foul was actually called on Jill Bryan. That's her first foul, and the team's first of the second half.
Yeah, got to get Potaraki more involved in the offense here. She's somebody that we need to get, 8-10 points out of in the second half.
Tori Mason drives right side of the lane, pull up floater, won't go down. Rebound grabbed by Whitney Dunn. Back come the Broncos. Jill Bryan with it now. Gives it off to Morgan. Morgan, quick 3. Bounces off the side of the rim, goes out of bounds. So that's kind of what I was talking about in the first half, where it's obviously a look that Central Oklahoma is not afraid to take, and that they want to take a quick look, but I would think you'd get a little better shot off. They were maybe 8 seconds into the shot clock there.
Yeah, and if that, yeah.
That's good for the Pioneers right now, as long as those don't go down.
Right, yeah.
Luckily, they've been missing a few of those. So Schlosser with the basketball now, gets it to Tori Mason. Mason to Caitlin Waller, who just checked in, and the ball stripped away from her by Alyssa Fuchsa, and Broncos on a fast break, and Dunn with the finish there. So Dunn off to a real hot start here in the second half, increases the Central Oklahoma lead to 10 at 32-22. Tab Thurman shot inside, won't go, but Caitlin Waller with the rebound. No foul called, a lot of contact on the shot, and then a jump ball, and possession arrow favors the Pioneers. So.
Yeah, I think there was no foul call there. I think they probably thought she was too far underneath the goal, and so there was definitely contact when she went up, but I'm just guessing the referee thought she's too far under.
B. Scott Kalb checks into the ball game now for
new shot clock.
Rebecca Cluley, and a fresh shot clock, off the jump ball for the Pioneers. So trail now by 10, 32-22 with 16:52 in the second half. Mason jumper,
nice
off
tip.
the inbound, won't go.
Keep that going.
Good hustle by Caitlin Waller to keep that ball alive, and the Pioneers get it back again. The Pioneers really in need of a basket here as they trail by 10. Schlosser with it now, right side, gets it to Mason. Mason, 2-pointer on the way, won't go down. Long rebound, bounces around all over the place, and eventually ends up in the hands of B. Scott Kalb, and she's fouled by Alyssa Fuchsa. So Pioneers getting another opportunity here.
Yeah, and look at the faces of the players. The Central Oklahoma girls are laughing and having a great time, and the Pioneers look a little more serious about it. Like they're of course they're down 10, so they got to be a little bit more serious about it. But ease up just a little bit and get in the flow of the game, and things will come back their way.
Tori Mason, same play, different direction off that inbound there. This time she doesn't put the shot up. Instead, kicks it out to Tab Thurman, who gets it over to Kalb. Kalb, one-handed pass, swings it to Mason. Mason on the drive. Pull up. Floater goes down off the baseline, cuts the lead to 8. Pioneers now 16:05 to go. Second half, need a big stop right here. Jill Bryan with it. Over to Morgan. Now to Fuchsa. Fuchsa travels with it. Chance for the Pioneers to cut the lead to 6 or 5 right after we come back from this timeout on the floor with 15:58 to go in the second half. Central Oklahoma 32, TWU 24.
Jupiter House is Denton's locally owned and locally operated coffee shop. With 2 locations to serve you, on the Courthouse Square or University Drive, Jupiter House is the perfect place to start your day. Grab your favorite coffee drink, pastry, or empanada, and get ready to take on the world. Jupiter House, proud corporate partners of TWU Athletics.
James Wood Auto Park is a proud sponsor of the TWU Pioneers. With dealership locations in both Denton and Decatur, James Wood is the place to go for your next automobile purchase. James Wood's extensive inventory includes new cars, pre-owned cars, and commercial trucks. James Wood Auto Park, big savings, big selection, and a big difference.
Tonight's webcast on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network is brought to you in part by the following corporate partners of TWU Athletics: The Forum at Denton Station, James Wood Auto Park, Palio's Pizza Cafe, Texas Spine Orthopedics and Rehabilitation, the Denton Record Chronicle, Fuzzy's Taco Shop, and Jupiter House Coffee.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena. 15:58 to go, second half. Pioneers trail Central Oklahoma by 8.
Yeah, what I find remarkable about it is, as quick as they put their shots up, and the Pioneers have taken more shots, Wills, because they've offensive rebounded them 8-4. So that's where the difference in the shots is coming from. But the shooting percentage still pretty bad, 14.3 for the Pioneers, and Dunn herself for the Broncos is 3 of 6. She's got all the 3. So.
And ball tipped there on the pass from Schlosser to Thurman. Attendance at today's game, 410. Yesterday's attendance, 422. So very similar attendance here for the 2 games for the Pioneers in the Marriott Champion Circle Pioneer Premier. And I still think half those people are coming out to see Mitch Cullen get his autograph after the radio broadcast.
I thought it was more than half yesterday, so what's happened? They heard me yesterday.
Waller on the drive, and
nice.
Waller takes the charge off the drive. She missed the jumper at the other end, came back, made up for it by taking the charge and creating a turnover for the Pioneers. Cool. Yeah, ball went in but didn't count.
Right. Now they've had their opportunities. Now that's as good as a turnover. Let's go right here. Let's knock something down.
Kalb gives it to Tori Mason. Up to Tab Thurman. She finds Waller inside. Waller post move. She's fouled in the act of shooting. She's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Want to make sure we let all our listeners know about the free youth basketball clinic that'll be taking place on Saturday, December 1st, conducted by the TWU basketball players and coaches. It'll be immediately following the Pioneers home game against Tarleton State. That game starts at 2 o'clock. Free admission to the game for all the clinic participants. All clinic participants receive a free Pioneer basketball. It's open to boys and girls in the 8th grade and below. Clinic will last approximately an hour. All participants must have a parent or guardian present to sign a liability waiver. You can register at the TWU Athletics table at the game to participate in the clinic.
6-point lead.
Free throws knocked down there by Waller, and that cuts the lead to 6, 32-26 for the Pioneers.
Need a stop right here.
Need a big stop right here as Bryan drives baseline, kicks it out to Savannah Hamilton. Her 3 won't go down, and Tori Mason does a nice box out there on Jill Bryan and lets the ball roll out of bounds. So 15 minutes exactly to play here in the second half. Pioneers trail by 6 with the basketball. B. Scott called to Rachel Schlosser. Schlosser to Amanda Mason. Mason to Kalb. Back down inside to Waller. Waller, though, has it stripped away by Brittany Morgan. Morgan brings it the other way, looks ahead to Bryan, who gets it to Savannah Hamilton, and her shot rolls around the rim, rolls off, and some serious contact there.
Yep.
And hopefully Caitlin Waller's okay. She and Haley Bryan on the tie-up. Good hustle by both players, and Waller hit the floor hard, but
they're going to give them a second, to catch their breath here. You know, the Central Oklahoma, their defense seems much stronger at the beginning of the game and the beginning of the half, and then it settles down some. So even though they do have a little bit of a lead here, the Pioneers went on that big run, not even big run, but they really closed the difference down later in the first half. So I think that can also happen here.
Well, and I think some of those substitutions seem to affect the Central Oklahoma defense as well. Their starters as a group
3
play
seconds.
some great team defense. Hamilton drives, tries to kick it out, throws it over to the scorer's table.
She's throwing it to you.
I'm surprised you didn't run out and grab that.
I got that one earlier, and if it had been a baseball game, I'd have had a souvenir, but I had to give it back.
I was looking for you to run out and grab it, take a couple dribbles, and dunk it.
Slam one down?
Yeah, it would cut the lead to 4.
Do we have a chiropractor that sponsors this show?
B. Scott Call with the basketball, gives it to Tori Mason. To Waller, now to Amanda Mason, left wing. Up top to Kolb. Back to Amanda Mason on the left wing. Potaraki checked into the ball game with that last dead ball. Waller with it now, gets it to Tori Mason. 9 on the shot clock. Down deep into Potaraki. She looks to post up, instead turns around, puts up a jumper just off the side of the rim, and the ball comes back down to Central Oklahoma. 13:48 to go. Pioneers trail by 6. Haley Bryan sends it out to Savannah Hamilton. Left wing, Hamilton back to Haley Bryan. Now three-pointer on the way for Jill Bryan. Rebound corralled by Kolb. Kolb quickly ahead to Potaraki. Potaraki has it stripped by Brittany Morgan. Brittany Morgan coming all the way back and does a finger roll. Doesn't go down, but the rebound grabbed by Jill Bryan. Was that a walk, Mitch?
I don't know what that was. She kind of got trapped in the middle there.
It looked like a walk to me, but I'm not an official. No. Fuchsa with the basketball now up top. Gets it to Hamilton. Hamilton dumps it inside to Haley Bryan. Bryan spins twice, 3 times, puts a shot up, and it's rebounded by Amanda Mason, and then eventually they call Haley Bryan for the foul. So I think they were going to let the first one kind of go because Amanda Mason had a handle on it, and then the second one was a little too much. So,
you know, UCO's in Edmond, Oklahoma, which is a little suburb just north. I wouldn't say little suburb. It's a suburb north of Oklahoma City. It's nice for them because their fans can just jump on Interstate 35 and they're here in about 2.5 hours maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Amanda Mason, B. Scott Kolb, Tab Thurman, Rachel Schlosser, Rhea Potaraki in the ballgame for the Pioneers. Amanda Mason with it now, left wing. Schlosser goes into the post-up, puts up a shot that was blocked,
a lot of
partially
contact.
blocked, with a lot of contact, but nothing called.
Nice.
And then Amanda Mason comes back the other way, and there are a couple things there that I could have called, but I don't have a whistle.
Right,
First of all, I thought Jill Bryan traveled first when she caught it, and then it didn't look like a foul, but I'm a little partial.
Yeah, Schlosser and Hamilton were really going at it under the goal there, and Schlosser just finally took the ball up. And a lot of contact. It went across, rolled across the top of the goal, and she's asking the official right now, was there no contact down there?
12:35 to go, second half. First free throw won't go down for Jill Bryan. Second free throw on the way and good. Makes it 33-27 now. Central Oklahoma on top of TWU. B. Scott Kolb gets it to Potaraki. Potaraki to Amanda Mason. Mason to Thurman. Over to the right wing to Schlosser. Now back to Kolb. She tries to dump it quickly inside to Thurman, but it's tipped away and stolen by the Broncos. And here comes Savannah Hamilton. Her jumper off the mark. Schlosser comes up with the rebound. B. Scott Kolb looks long to Amanda Mason.
Nice.
She finds her. Layup goes down. And now it's back to a 5-point lead for the Broncos. 4-point lead at halftime. Broncos came out hot and took it back to all the way up to a 10-point lead. But the Pioneers now have cut that 10-point lead in half. And a 3 off the mark for Brittany Morgan, but a good hustle there by Savannah Hamilton to save it inbounds to Jill Bryan, and Broncos get a fresh shot clock.
Pioneers in a zone defense trying to force them to take the outside shot, and they've taken two.
Three-pointer on the way. Jill Bryan knocks it down. That's a big three by her to push the lead back up to 8 for the Broncos. Kolb with it now for the Pioneers. Sends it to Tab Thurman. Thurman tries to get it inside to Potaraki. Goes off her foot and into the hands of Jill Bryan. Now Jill Bryan tries to get it ahead quickly, but a good hustle play by Amanda Mason there. And there is a timeout on the floor with 11:14 to go in the second half. Central Oklahoma 36, TWU 28.
Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital Denton is the official healthcare provider for TWU Athletics. Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital Denton is a 255-bed hospital featuring more than 43 specialties, accompanied by a relationship-based care model, which places the patient and family at the center of the decision-making process. Healing hands, caring hearts. Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital Denton.
Locally owned and operated, Little Guys Movers is a company that's built on sweat, stiff backs, and the simple philosophy of do the right thing by people and you will be rewarded. Little Guys Movers offers local, long-distance, residential, corporate, and commercial moving services. When you're ready to move, give Little Guys a call at 940-484-5467. Little Guys Movers, what moves you? Dr. Michael Avenshire is one of the team doctors for your TWU Pioneers. Specializing in family and sports medicine, Dr. Avenshire enjoys taking care of the whole family, but there is just nothing more fun than being out on the field or in the gym taking care of athletes. Dr. Avenshire is located at the Medical Center of North Texas on Highway 380 and Crossroads. Give him a call, 940-365-9389.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena. 11:14 to go, second half. TWU trails Central Oklahoma 36-28 right now.
Yeah, again, the shooting percentage is bad. 18% for the Pioneers, 28% for the Broncos. The Pioneers had 11 looks, only made 2 shots, though. Got to do better than that.
Three-pointer on the way for Chelsea Dennis. Some substitutions in now for the Broncos. So Pioneers maybe a chance to make a little headway here. Schlosser, three-pointer. Won't go down. Ooh. Amanda Mason goes down hard. She was fouled by Whitney Dunn.
She's feeling some pain, too. But it looks like the zone defense is working a little bit. It looks like Coach is really trying to force them into shooting the outside shot, and it's worked so far. They've only knocked one of them down, and it's gotten the Pioneers a couple of looks down at the other end of the floor.
So Amanda Mason down here. Got knocked off the rebound, kind of off balance, hit the floor hard. We will take a break. 10:49 to go, second half. Pioneers trail 36-28.
Groggy Dog Sportswear is the official screen printer for TWU Athletics. At Groggy Dog, our strength is in our people. We have a very dedicated, professional team that includes sales and customer service, graphic design, and production. Contact Groggy Dog today at 940-891-4022 and let them help you with your next apparel purchase for your school, sports team, or business.
Tonight's webcast on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network is brought to you in part by the following corporate partners of TWU Athletics: The Forum at Denton Station, James Wood Auto Park, Palio's Pizza Cafe, Texas Spine Orthopedics and Rehabilitation, the Denton Record Chronicle, Fuzzy's Taco Shop, and Jupiter House Coffee.
Find out how easy it is to join DATQ. DATQ is the full-service bank for all your banking needs. Come visit one of our 3 Denton locations or log on to datq.org and learn why DATQ is the right bank for you. DATQ, the new place to bank.
Our mission in the Lone Star Conference is to foster student participation and success among member institutions in Division II athletics as part of a total educational program on each campus. Learn more at lonestarconference.org.
We strive for academic excellence. We believe in engaging our community. We're proud of our tradition. We exemplify respect on and off the field. We conduct ourselves with integrity, and we're committed to being the best. That's why we're the one. Lone Star Conference, we're the one.
Do you need more maroon and white in your closet? Then log on to TWUathletics.com, where you can purchase more than 5,000 items of TWU Athletics merchandise. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, shorts, souvenirs, and more. That's TWUathletics.com, the official online store of TWU Athletics. Do you want up-to-the-minute news on your favorite TWU Pioneer team? Log on to TWUathletics.com for scores, stats, schedules, news, and photos. You can also like TWU Athletics on Facebook or follow the TWU Pioneers on Twitter. And new for this year, text TWU to 68247 for exclusive updates about any and all things TWU Athletics related. Tonight's webcast on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network is brought to you in part by the following corporate partners of TWU Athletics: Shutt Sports, D&D Sports Medicine, Fast Signs of Denton, Holiday Inn and Suites, Outback Steakhouse, Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital, Denton, and DATQ Credit Union.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena. 10:49 to go, second half here. Pioneers trail by 8 points, but more importantly, Amanda Mason, who went down very hard on a rebound, is now up and walking off the floor under her own power. So it's a very scary moment there for the Pioneers, but thankfully Amanda Mason now up and, as I've said, walking off the floor under her own power, still with the help of the trainers. But
yeah, and a great training staff here was immediately out there to help her and evaluate the situation, and hopefully it's nothing more than just a bump on the back of the head.
Yeah. So past the scary moment now. Yes, they talk to the football players all the time and say you got to keep playing now and you just got to move on.
That's
so
right.
That's what the Pioneers are going to have to do right here. Trailing by 8, 10:45 to go. First half. Rhea Podaraki with the basketball now. Gets it to Rebecca Cluley. They're out there with Schlosser, Waller, and Thurmond. And Thurmond loses the basketball into the hands of Chelsea Dennis. And Dennis gets it over to Rachel New. Now right side to Dennis. She looks to Dunn inside, but that won't work. So Chelsea Robinson instead sends it back to Dennis. Now back to Dunn. Now Fuchsa with it up top. Left corner. Chelsea Robinson dribbles, kicks it back out to New.
4
seconds on the shot clock. 3, 2 seconds, 1, and she traveled with it, trying to get the shot off. So
okay, normally you get a play stoppage like that, and it typically creates something in the game, a dynamic in the game, usually a run one way or the other. Let's see which team it is that responds to it.
Just over 10 minutes to go now, second half. Pioneers trailing 36-28. Thurmond gives it to Schlosser.
Oh, they missed her undercutting underneath.
Schlosser to Waller. Now Waller takes a couple dribbles but throws it away into the hands of Chelsea Dennis. Good hustle by Waller to get back down the floor. Dennis's shot off the mark and a rebound grab by Tab Thurmond. She sees Schlosser out in
Too
front.
far.
Pass is too long. Schlosser stepped on the inline as she tried to save it in bounds. We'll let everybody know that Sunday, December 2nd, 2 o'clock right here at Kitty McGee Arena is the TWU Gymnastics Holiday Spectacular. There's free admission, free TWU Gymnastics t-shirts to the first 150 fans, free holiday cookies and drinks while supplies last, free pictures with Santa following the meet, and holiday entertainment. Also, the gymnastics team will be accepting canned food donations for the TWU Food Pantry. Again, that's December 2nd, 2 o'clock right here at Kitty McGee Arena. Broncos with the basketball again. Three-pointer on the way, won't go down. Rebound tipped around and ends up in the hands of Tabitha Thurmond. So Pioneers dodge another bullet there. Could have gone to 11 points, but instead they have the basketball. And Cluley on a drive gets it to Tori Mason. Mason into Podaraki. Podaraki puts up a baby hook that won't go down, but Tori Mason there for the putback.
Very nice.
Cuts the lead back to 6.
Those
Pioneers.
Second chance points is what you look for on the offensive end.
Absolutely, and the Pioneers just keep hanging around and hanging around. Unable to get over the hump so far. There's a kick ball called against the Pioneers. Shot clock down to 20, so it'll stay right there. It doesn't reset all the way. It resets to, I believe it's 14 or 15 in women's college basketball. I shouldn't have brought it up if I didn't know for
That's
sure.
right. I think they've gone back to the man defense here. They've gotten away from the zone.
Rachel New with the basketball now for
Whoa.
the Pioneers. And Cluley comes up with a steal. Going all the way down, defended by New. Pulls out to the left wing. Skips it over to the corner to Tori Mason. Mason drives baseline, puts up a shot. She's fouled in the act of shooting. So Pioneers on a mini run here, at least a mini, what's the word I should say, momentum run.
A
Maybe
mini
not a points
chance.
Run. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Chance to cut it back to 4, which was the halftime deficit.
Yep.
And then they trailed by 10 quickly out of the box. But Tori Mason's free throw off the mark. And you talked about the free throw shooting for the Pioneers so far in the game. 5 of 10. That's 5 of 11 now for the Pioneers. Make it 6 of 12. So back to 5 points now at 36-31.
Like to have those 6 points right here, you know.
That would give us a 1-point lead if my math is correct. So.
Pretty close.
Broncos with the basketball. Dennis with it. Drives. Cut off. Sends it to Whitney Dunn. Dunn loses the handle for a second, but able to get it back, but then throws it out. Oh, didn't go out of bounds. Boy, that was good hustle by Rachel New.
Sure
I thought it
was.
was going to go right to the assistant coach, and it never got there. New with it. Sends it over. Chelsea Robinson. Robinson dribbles in. 2 seconds on the shot clock. 1. Shot won't go down. Rebound grab by Potaraki. Big possession here for the Pioneers, trailing by 5. On a little bit of a run with some momentum. Shot won't go down for Cluley. The ball saved by Fuchsa. Fuchsa gives it off to Dunn, and the lay-in takes the lead back to 7. So big swing there the wrong way for the Pioneers.
Yeah, probably a little careless with the ball right there.
And a foul called there. Looks like it's going to go against Chelsea Dennis. And I believe it'll be 1-1 for the Pioneers when we come back from this timeout on the floor. Central Oklahoma 38, TWU 31, 7:43 to go. Second half. We'll take a break. Come right back.
Fast Signs of Denton is the official sign provider for your TWU Pioneers. Fast Signs will help you overcome all of your visual communication challenges. Their full-service sign and graphics center uses marketing and sign knowledge, state-of-the-art technology, project management, and innovative thinking to help you meet your business objectives. From vivid banners and graphic posters to outdoor building signs and car graphics, Fast Signs can help you craft the right message and place it in all the places it needs to be.
Shut Sports is proud to support Texas Women's University Athletics and the Lone Star Conference. Shut Sports offers the best in football, softball, and baseball helmets. Shut Sports is also the official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Find out more about Shut Sports at shutsports.com. That's SCHUTT sports.com.
We are back at Kitty McGee Arena with this NCAA women's basketball telecast of this game between the Central Oklahoma Broncos and your TWU Pioneers. 7:43 to go, second half. Pioneers trail by 7.
Both teams in the game, 43 shots. Both teams, 43 shots. 13 made by the Broncos, 12 by the Pioneers. Free throw percentage, 75 to 50. Both teams shot 12 free throws. So, extremely close game. Just the slightest things can change the momentum in another direction. And Pioneers right now need to take advantage of it at the free throw line, get a couple of points with the clock not running. So
absolutely. That foul was on Chelsea Dennis, which sends Tab Thurman to the line to shoot 1-1. Speaking of taking advantage, she can cut it to 5 here if she can make these 2 free throws. 7:43 to go, so plenty of time for the Pioneers. And that free throw's off the back of the rim, and a rebound pulled in by Savannah Hamilton. So another chance gone by the wayside for the Pioneers, but again, plenty of time on the clock, trailing by only 7 points.
Nice block
by Brittany Morgan. Terrific block from Rebecca Cluley. Ball goes out of bounds off the official, or at least touches him when it gets out of bounds, so it's going to stay with the Broncos. 18 on the shot clock. There's a pass to the top of the key. Set play there on the out of bounds for Jill Bryan. She knocks down the 3, which pushes that lead back to 10. Cluley with it now, hands it off to Thurman. Thurman gives to Schlosser. Schlosser back to Thurman. Thurman drives baseline, kicks it out to Mason. She finds Cluley over in the left side. Now to Schlosser, now to Mason. 10 on the shot clock. Mason drives, shot fake. Now hounded by Hamilton. And ball nearly stolen, but now there's 2 seconds, 1 second. Shot clock. Shot goes up by Thurman, and it's off the mark and rebounded by Morgan. Morgan back the other way. Ball skipped to the corner, now back to the wing to Morgan. That three's way off the mark, but it's tracked down by Jill Bryan. And Bryan kicks it out to Jordan Ward, who checked in during that last timeout. Now Morgan with the basketball. Now the ball goes inside to Savannah Hamilton. She puts up a hook shot up off the glass and pushes the Broncos to their biggest lead of the night at 12 points, 43-31, 6:20 to play, second half. Pioneers need a big basket right here to stay in this ball game. Potaraki hounded on the sideline there by Haley Bryan. Now Tori Mason, 3 on the way, won't go down, off the front of the rim, and a rebound grab by Jordan Ward, and Ward kicks it to Savannah Hamilton. Her three-pointer knocked down, and that's going to force TWU head coach Beth Gilson to call a timeout as the lead balloons to 15 with 5:54 to go.
30
in the second half. So it is a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. So a couple of big three-pointers there knocked down by the Broncos.
Yeah, a little bit of sloppy play on the offensive end for the Broncos, and had to throw up some wild shots there as the shot clock was running down. And then what a bad time for the Broncos to get hot on the three-point shooting, and that's exactly what they've done. And when you knock 2 of them down, that's quick 6 points right there that the Pioneers couldn't afford to give them.
Yeah, exactly. And had a couple chances to cut the lead. Again, it was only a 4-point lead at the half. And I mentioned a couple times that we were lucky it wasn't 15, and then then it slipped to 10 early, and then we battled back and cut it to 4 or 5, and then unfortunately now my prophecy has come true, and it is now at 15 points. This is kind of what I was afraid of, where the Broncos got hot on a couple shots, and instead of not taking advantage, they've taken advantage of a couple possessions. So some substitutions for the Pioneers now. Taylor Swift in, and Mary Coveton in as well. And Rhea Potaraki with the basketball, and has it taken away by Haley Bryan. And now it's into the hands of Brittany Morgan, and a reaching foul is going to be called here against Mary Coveton. So on the floor for the Pioneers, B. Scott Kolb, Rhea Potaraki, Mary Coveton, Rachel Schlosser, and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, let's see if Mary Coveton can help out here with just her size advantage.
Brittany Morgan with it to Haley Bryan. Now to Jill Bryan, back to Jordan Ward. Now Morgan on the drive, kicks it all the way out to Jill Bryan. She takes it in the lane, and
that's going to be a
blocking foul. They call a blocking foul there on the shot, and he's saying 2 shots, but the ball went in.
Yeah, he didn't.
Jill Bryan. So what's he? All right, I'm gonna. Okay, I'm not. Why? What is that? The ball went in.
I don't know.
But he's given her 2 shots, 2 free throws, even though the ball went in. So what I thought was a chance to complete a 3-point play.
Continuation. Maybe when the contact happened, maybe she came back down to the floor or something and threw it up. I don't know.
All right. Well, she makes both free throws, so the lead now at 17 points for the Broncos.
Okay, well, that's a good break for us. That way she didn't get a 3-point play.
Yes, exactly. Potaraki with
There's
it now
Mary getting
up top.
See what she's got. Get up high to her.
Swift with it now. Right side over to Kolb. Kolb inside to Potaraki. Potaraki triple teamed, and the ball stolen away. And here comes Jordan Ward back the other way. Her shot off the mark, but they're going to call B. Scott Kolb for a foul here that's going to send Jordan Ward to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, just not much happening on the offensive end. It's just such a labor to get somebody open down there, and you got to credit Central Oklahoma because they're playing really tough defense right now. And like I said earlier, they're laughing, they're joking, they're playing very light right now and just having a great time doing it. And there's there's a huge advantage to being able to play that way and playing from behind. So,
absolutely. Jordan Ward makes the first free throw, so it's 49-31 now, 4:48 to go second half. Second free throw is good as well, so the advantage goes to 19 points for the Broncos. B. Scott called with it now, and a hold called against Jordan Ward. Now that's the 9th team foul that's going to go against the Broncos, so B. Scott called and go to the line and shoot 1-1.
B. Scott, pretty good free throw shooter. I expect her to knock both these down right here.
She had 6 points yesterday against A&M International. She does knock down that first free throw, cuts the lead to 18.
Comes from that program that really focuses on the free throw shooting, right?
There you go. Argyle High School Eagles.
There you go. How many did she make?
Knocks them both.
2.
Both down, 50-33 now. 4:42 left. Not impossible, but certainly an extremely difficult uphill task right now for the TWU Pioneers. They're going to need to have a miniature run here before the media timeout and then really get after it if they have any hope of coming up with their 3rd win of the season and staying undefeated. Jill Bryan with the ball in the corner, gets it to Savannah Hamilton, and she kicks it all the way over to Morgan. Morgan on the drive, back out. 3-pointer on the way for Haley Bryan. There's a foul called underneath there. It's going to go against the Pioneers.
Yeah, when you're down half of the total that you've scored in the game, it's a pretty deep hole for 4 minutes. So going to need some good 3-point shooting, some quick 3-point shooting, and you're going to have to get some turnovers in order to do it. Like I said, not impossible, but you got to get busy.
Yeah. And Savannah Hamilton on the miss. And B. Scott Cobb comes up with the rebound. So here she comes the other way for the Pioneers. Gets it to Thurman. Thurman to Mason. Now to Waller. Waller finds Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift 3 on the way. That's off the mark. And ball bounces out of bounds off Central Oklahoma. So the Pioneers will keep it. 3:50 to go, second half. Timeout on the floor. Central Oklahoma 50, TWU 33. We'll take a break. Come right back.
At Texas Spine, Orthopedics, and Rehabilitation in Denton, the doctors and staff are committed to providing comprehensive quality diagnosis and treatment of all orthopedic conditions and spine care. Dr. Paul Watley and the rest of the team at Texas Spine, Orthopedics, and Rehabilitation also provide top-notch care for the TWU Pioneers. Texas Spine, Orthopedics, and Rehabilitation. They're members of Texas Health Physicians Group.
The Forum at Denton Station provides premier student living at an affordable price. Located just 10 minutes from the TWU Denton campus, the Forum offers awesome amenities, including a resort-style pool, stand-up tanning beds, a half-court basketball gym, door-to-door TWU shuttle service, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and a cyber cafe with Wi-Fi access and a coffee bar. The Forum at Denton Station. Make it happen.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena. 3:50 to play here in the second half. Your TWU Pioneers trail Central Oklahoma 50-33.
Yeah, the shooting percentage still pretty low, but to me a more telling number is second half 3-point shooting is 0 for 4 for the Pioneers, 3 for 11 for the Broncos. Not much better, but three makes is 9 points that the the Pioneers hadn't put in. So that's a big difference.
Well, and those 2 makes during that stretch run that really pushed this lead out.
Right, rebounds
huge.
Rebounds still pretty even, 37-36.
B. Scott Kolb inbounds to Rachel Schlosser for the Pioneers. Again, trailing by 17. Ball tipped and stolen by Jordan Ward. Jordan Ward in for the left-hand layup. Pushes that lead to 19 points now.
Jordan Ward was a state qualifier in cross country, so he's got some speed to get to that ball and really just kind of out-hustled her right there.
Tori Mason gives it to Tab Thurman. B. Scott Kolb looks inside to Waller, but she's not open, so Schlosser gets it instead, drives the lane, pull up in the lane, won't go down. Rebound, strong rebound pulled in by Savannah Hamilton.
She's throwing the elbows there. She better look out.
Yeah,
keep them low. Yep.
Morgan with the ball now, gets it to Ward. Now over to Jill Bryan. Back to Haley Bryan. She dumps it inside to Hamilton, and she's fouled by Tab Thurman. So Savannah Hamilton, 6-foot senior out of Preston, Oklahoma, going to go to the line and shoot 2 to try to push this lead up over 20 points now with 2:57 to go in the second half.
Yeah, the Pioneers, 20 turnovers so far in the game as opposed to just 15 for Central Oklahoma.
First free throw is off the mark as Rebecca Cluley checks in for B. Scott Cobb.
They have Central Oklahoma now with 2 players in double digits.
Second free throw off the mark there, but rebounded by Haley Bryan. So Central Oklahoma retains possession. Whitney Morgan with it now. Gets it to Savannah Hamilton. Jill Bryan with it now. Broncos with a 19-point lead. Obviously more than happy to be patient with it. Jill Bryan dribbles in, forces a shot, but the rebound tips her.
Oh.
She gets her own rebound. She's fouled on the putback. It goes in, and she's going to have a chance to complete a 3-point play. So that's a little bit of the theme of the night there as we now come to the end of it for the Pioneers. I kept waiting, hoping and waiting and hoping and thinking,
yep,
that we were going to come back. But it's 22 points now with 2:28 to go. So it's looking like we're going to move to 2-1. And that little over the hump run just never happened.
Yeah, and that was a great play by Jill Bryan right there. She was determined to drive it to the hole and did and missed, and then ended up getting her own, picking up a kind of a bungled rebound, and then threw her body into the defender and made the 3-point play.
And that ball stolen away there by Jordan Ward. And now the loose ball picked up by Brittany Morgan.
Get that.
And now
there you
the ball
go.
Stolen by Rhea Potaraki. So the 2 number 3s on the floor get back-to-back steals. But that doesn't help the Pioneers now as they trail still by 22 with under 2 minutes to play in the second half. Waller with it now to Schlosser.
Taking too long. Got to get the ball up.
And ball skips over the head of Rhea Potaraki and goes out of bounds. And so we've got 1:51 to play. And I think at this point, Pioneers probably just happy to let this time go. Am I wrong?
30-second.
Somebody just called 30-second timeout.
Pioneers, maybe they're doing it to get some subs in. I don't know.
Yes, Pioneers did call timeout. All right. Well, I shouldn't have said that really if I would have thought about it. It's only the 3rd game of the season.
Right.
So she's going to want to call timeout to maybe work on a defense or work on a set, the next time they get the ball. Or, there are all kinds of ways you can challenge your team now as well.
What it looks like she's telling them is, I want to see what you do the last minute 51, how you come out and respond to this. Are you just going to lay down and let them just keep scoring, or are you going to, you're going to dig deep and try and get something positive going at the end of the game? And that's what she was challenging her kids. And, you want to see them respond here. You want them to say, I don't like what's going on. I need to do better, and let's see how they do it.
Right. 55-33, 1:51 to go, second half. Jordan Ward with the basketball for the Central Oklahoma Broncos, who lead the TWU Pioneers. Haley Bryan. Now the ball into the hands of Chelsea Robinson. Her shot on the way, no good, but the rebound pulled in by Chelsea Dennis. So fresh shot clock for the Broncos. Haley Bryan now with it. Now the ball was dumped inside, headed for Audra Harris, but I believe that's who they're going to call it on. Yes, commits an offensive foul, so the ball's going to go back over to the Pioneers with 1:24 to go in the second half.
Yeah, you got to move it down the floor a little bit quicker here and get a shot off fast. They didn't start the clock. Now they did. We got lucky there. We got about 2 seconds free.
Rebecca Cluley gets it to Schlosser. Now to Tori Mason. Mason hounded by Chelsea Dennis, who doesn't agree that she fouled her there, but she did.
Could have gone either way when you get your shoulder that low and you're going around. Could have gone either way. Probably looking at the scoreboard, that's how you get the call going Pioneers' way.
Tori Mason knocks down the first of 2 free throws as the Pioneers are in the double bonus. So that makes it 55-34 and 55-35. And sometimes the pain could be a little less if it's under 20 points.
Yeah,
so maybe
sure.
if the Pioneers here can get a stop and a bucket, can at least avoid a 20-point or a 20-point-plus loss. And they get the steal here. So here comes Tori Mason trying to cut into that 20-point lead. Schlosser, jumper, three-pointer, rattles around, won't go down. And a rebound corralled by Jordan Ward. She's hounded by Tori Mason. And back come the Broncos, and the layup put in by Chelsea Robinson.
Yeah, that was a little bit too easy for him right there. Got to get back in transition and keep him from getting those easy baskets.
Waller has a pass stolen by Chelsea Dennis, and she gets it in the hands of Jordan Ward, who's fouled from behind by Rebecca Cluley. So we are down to 31.2 seconds left, and apparently nothing that I say tonight can come true because it's now a chance to go up further over 20 points. I thought we could have a tiny moral victory, but I've been off the mark all night. So
gonna have to get your moral victory somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jordan Ward knocks down that first free throw, makes it 58-35 as Taylor Swift comes in favor of Caitlin Waller for TWU. Second free throw on the way for Ward is good. 59-35 now. Rebecca Cluley brings it up for the Pioneers. Gives it to Potaraki. Swings it over to Taylor Swift. Now to Schlosser. Now to Cluley. Cluley pulls up in the lane. Off the back of the rim. Rebound grabbed by Chelsea Robinson, and we're down to 8 seconds. And she's just going to dribble the clock out, and that's going to bring an end to this game in about 2 seconds here with the Pioneers falling to Central Oklahoma 59-35. So, tough loss here for the Pioneers.
Yep.
We will be back in just a moment with the Forum at Denton Station post-game show. The Forum at Denton Station, premier student living at an affordable price. You're listening to TWU Basketball on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network, home of the Maroon and White. We'll recap today's game and hear from TWU head coach Beth Gilson and our Pioneer player of the game when we return with the Forum at Denton Station post-game show.
At First United Bank, we know you have a choice in determining where to do your banking and selecting the type of personal banking accounts that will help you best reach your financial goals. That's why we offer an array of options from which you may choose to make your money work harder and go farther for you. First United Bank, all that matters is the size of your dreams.
Tonight's webcast on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network is brought to you in part by the following corporate partners of TWU Athletics: the Forum at Denton Station, James Wood Auto Park, Palio's Pizza Cafe, Texas Spine Orthopedics and Rehabilitation, the Denton Record Chronicle, Fuzzy's Taco Shop, and Jupiter House Coffee. When you're in Denton to see your favorite Pioneer team, we'd like to encourage you to visit one of these TWU Athletics preferred restaurants: Double Dave's Pizza Works, Weinberger's Deli, Palio's Pizza Cafe, Witch Witch, Fuzzy's Taco Shop, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, or El Guapo's Tex-Mex Restaurant.
Welcome back to Kitty McGee Arena, where we have just wrapped up the 2012 Marriott Champion Circle Pioneer Premier with the Central Oklahoma Broncos knocking off the TWU Pioneers 59-35. They just announced the all-tournament team. On that team from Angelo State, Haley Oliver, sophomore out of San Saba, Texas. Samantha Chacon, who we saw last night, the junior from Texas A&M International. She's out of El Paso, also on that all-tournament team, very deserving of that honor. Texas Women's University put Tori Mason on there. She's a sophomore out of Shreveport. And Central Oklahoma Broncos, 5'10 junior from Copen, Oklahoma Jill Bryant, also on the all-tournament team. And finally, the tournament MVP, also very deserving out of Garber, Oklahoma, 6-foot senior Alyssa Fuchsa. So you got some stats for us?
Yeah, and you can see why Alyssa Fuchsa was the tournament MVP. I mean, tonight she had 11 points and 7 rebounds for the Lady Broncos. Whitney Dunn, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Jill Bryan, 12 points, 9 rebounds, so a really nice night for her. Savannah Hamilton with 8 points and 7 boards, and the local girl Jordan Ward with 6 points and 5 rebounds. The Central Oklahoma Broncos shot 19 of 55 for a 34.5% in field goals. 3 points, they were 5 of 20 for 25%. And then the free throws, 76% on 16 of 21 shooting. Texas women's tonight, the numbers not nearly as fun to read as they were last night. The Pioneers were led by Tori Mason, 16 points and 4 boards. Follow that with Caitlin Waller with 6 points and 3 boards. And then Rhea Podaraki with 4 points and 5 rebounds. On the night, the Pioneers shot 24.5% on 12 of 49 shooting for field goals. The three-point shooting was just 11%, 1 of 9. And then also the free throws, 58%, almost 59%, 10 of 17 shooting for the Pioneers. So, Steve, numbers tonight, nowhere near the numbers that we had last night.
No, absolutely not. A tough one that's going to send the Pioneers off on the road to the tournament at Colorado Christian next week, which we'll talk about with Coach Gilson after the game. But talk about a couple more happy things in a second here. Thank you. And they were just asking about the player of the game. So we're going to put Tori Mason there as the player of the game with 16 points and 4 rebounds. Let's talk about some happy stuff. Let's talk about kids, first of all. There'll be a free youth basketball clinic here conducted by the TWU basketball players and coaches. That'll be Saturday, December 1st at 2 o'clock, actually immediately following the 2 o'clock home game against Tarleton State. Free admission to the game for all clinic participants. All clinic participants receive a free Pioneer basketball. It's open to boys and girls in 8th grade and below. The clinic will last approximately 1 hour. Participants must have a parent or guardian present to register and sign a liability waiver. You can register at the TWU Athletics table before the game or during the game to participate in the clinic. Again, that's Saturday, December 1st, immediately following the Pioneers' 2 p.m. home game against Tarleton State. And then also happiness, kids, and Christmas. I love Christmas.
So do kids.
I also see, yes, you're right. I also see that there are cookies and drinks here. I love cookies and drinks.
They're here?
So, not right now.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. It's not taking place till December 2nd.
Now, I was happy when you said that.
The TWU Gymnastics 2012 Holiday Spectacular is going to take place here on Sunday, December 2nd, 2 p.m., right here at Kitty McGee Arena. Free admission, free TWU Holiday Spectacular T-shirts to the first 150 fans, free holiday cookies and drinks while supplies last, though. They got that disclaimer on there because they know guys like me and you, we get to that table. And,
we bum rush that table and it's all gone.
I'm not going to finish the drinks, but I might wipe out the cookies, though. Free pictures with Santa following the meet, holiday entertainment, and also the gymnastics team will be accepting canned food donations for the TWU Food Pantry. So, again, that is on Sunday, December 2nd, 2 o'clock, right here at Kitty McGee Arena.
Big weekend that weekend.
Absolutely. Huge weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So we will take a break here. It's 59-35 was your final. Central Oklahoma beats the TWU Pioneers. Central Oklahoma improves to 3-1. Pioneers drop to 2-1. We are going to come back with head coach Beth Gilson, her post-game interview, and the post-game interview with our Pioneer player of the game, Tori Mason. You're listening to the Forum at Denton Station post-game show on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network, home of the maroon and white. We'll take a break and come right back. Welcome back to the Forum at Denton Station post-game show where the Central Oklahoma Broncos have just beaten the TWU Pioneers 59-35. We are happy to be joined by TWU head coach Beth Gilson. and soon enough, our Pioneer Player of the Game, Tori Mason. These interviews are brought to you by Best Western Premier, a preferred hotel for TWU athletics. I'm happy to be joined by you. I know you're not happy right now. I always try after a loss to make you laugh, so I'll see if I can slip a joke in here or something.
Okay.
Anyway, so I know it was a tough one tonight. I know.
It was.
Basically, what I want to talk about first is I wrote down a couple of notes. I said lucky early when we were only down 10-4.
Yep.
And we got a UCO turnover. And then really at the half, we were only down 4 points at the half. We had not played well. And at one point, after shooting 50% last night, at one point early, we were, well, in the beginning, we were one of our first 12 field goals. So all that, I really felt lucky at halftime to only be down by 4.
Me too. And that's what I told him at halftime. I said, hey, we played really, really bad in the first half, and we're still in the game. So let's play good the next 20 minutes. And we really talked about being able to get ball reversal. They took that away. And I just, no matter what the score says, the thing I'm most disappointed in is the quit we had tonight. You know, the score got bad, and I thought we quit the last 10 minutes of the game. And, you know, that's not what we're about. And so we're going to learn from it and move on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I knew I was going to let you say that and not me. And unfortunately, I saw it too.
Bad.
But I knew. But I know that that's not going to last.
No,
I can
it's
promise
not.
you that. So,
Nope.
And when it came to the shooting, we shot almost exactly half of what we did last night, 50% from the field, and assisted on 17 of 28 field goals. Tonight we shot 25%, a little more disturbing, only 59% from the free throw line. But even worse, though, the problem that I saw, which they were 5 of 20 from 3, which is not great, but we got outscored by 12 there from the three-point line because we were only 1 of 9. So tell me a little bit. They played great defense.
Right.
I thought they played very good defense. Talk about the offensive struggles.
They did. I mean, I think the biggest stat right here is 4 assists. We might have set a all-time record for the lowest number of assists. And we play team basketball. You know, we don't run the dribble drive. We don't do any of that stuff where you're scoring and get to the rim. So for us to have 4 assists is not our offense, and we did not execute it all tonight. Like I said, they took away ball reversal, and we have things to counter that and to, you know, make a hard cut or set a screen, and we didn't do that. We really lost our minds out there. It looked like chaos to me.
Yeah, and that's somewhat to be expected. You can't say it, but I can. With 7 new people out of 10 players, I mean, it's going to take some time to come together.
And so, and it will. And I've said that from the beginning. But you know, these 7 players have experience. We don't have any freshmen, and so I expect our decision making to be much better. And we're going to work on it. I mean, it'll be better. We'll learn from it. It's early, so that's the good thing. But I do expect better decision making from. I know they're new to the system, but they are veteran players. So.
All right, fair enough. We're going to move on. We're done. It's
we're
over.
done.
We
we're
lost.
Done, yes.
Move on. They won't let us play the game again, so let's quit.
Yep.
So what we'll talk about now is next week. Is that Friday, Saturday? Colorado Christian.
Yes.
So you're not going Black Friday shopping?
No.
What's up with that?
Yeah,
so
I don't do that. I'm not good at that. I
Me
just
neither.
buy everything full price.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't blame you. So
I just don't shop.
You'll be at Colorado Christian. You play Colorado Christian on Friday, the 23rd, and then Northwest Missouri State on the 24th.
2 really good teams, yeah.
Okay, tell us a little bit about what you know about them.
I haven't really thought about it much. I just know that one's in the RMAC and one's in the MIAA, which is one of the best conferences in Division II basketball. So, and it's in Colorado on somebody else's home court. So, I haven't even looked at film yet, but I'm sure they'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you guys, did you go to Colorado last year too?
No, we went to Florida.
Florida last year. Did you go to Colorado like a couple years ago? Have you been to this tournament before, or at least to Colorado before?
No, went to Wyoming one time, but not Colorado.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, 50. My memory is really, really bad.
That's all right.
So what are you looking to get out of that trip overall now, especially after tonight? What are your pick 2 goals that when you come back you've accomplished on that trip?
Win game 1, win game 2.
Okay, then pick goals 3 and 4.
No, we just need to continue to get better, and play good team basketball and execute offensively. We've struggled against pressure, so we need to do a better job of handling the pressure and making teams pay for overplaying. That's one goal, and then we didn't do it tonight, but we need to out-rebound our opponents every single time, especially when we shoot 24% for the game.
Yeah,
we need to definitely out-rebound.
All right, well, I'll let you go. I'll let you move on to the film room. I'm sure you'll be there. I didn't bring any Babe's chicken from last night. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have. Maybe one cold piece would make everything right now, wouldn't it?
That would help. That would be a start.
All right. Well, you guys have a safe trip, and we'll see you when you get back.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, thanks
Appreciate
a lot.
it.
That was TWU head coach Beth Gilson, and we're just now ready to be joined by our Pioneer player of the game, Tori Mason. And Tori Mason is a 5'10" sophomore out of Shreveport, Louisiana, by way of Byrd High School. How you doing, Tori?
Good. How are you?
Good. So congratulations. I know it's a tough game, but I'm being selected player of the game, 16 points, 4 rebounds. And I was talking with Coach Gilson that, when we got to halftime, trailing by only 4 after all the things that didn't happen, for us. They weren't even necessarily things that went wrong other than missed shots, but that didn't happen for us in the first half. I think you guys had to feel kind of lucky at halftime to only be down by 4.
Yeah, they came out. They were ready to play. We just couldn't handle the pressure tonight. But I don't know. For the first half, we stuck with them. The second half, we just broke down. So.
Yeah, and there were several times there where, and I think that's another reason why when they asked me, I said picked you as player of the game. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm picking it though. Last year somebody else picked it. I don't know. I don't want that job at all. So I only picked Rhea last night because I'd never met anybody from Greece. So that was it. But they asked me, and so one of the other reasons was not just the points, but there were times there where you were trying to take over and trying to keep us in the ball game. Tell me, did that kind of go through your mind a little bit? Like, I'm going to be the one to step up right now and score some points here and there, and you look to aggressively score, I guess is what I'm saying, several times.
Definitely. We couldn't get ball reversal, first of all, and they pressured us so hard. So when they pressured us, like the lanes were wide open. So I know I just had to take my opportunity and try to score and just try to pump the team up. If I score, then hopefully everybody else will feed off of that.
Right, absolutely. So tell me your second year here, coming from Shreveport, tell me maybe the differences so far in your second year, not just basketball, but at TWU versus your first year here.
Basketball-wise, I definitely have a feel for the floor now. As a freshman, I was coming in, I was a little timid, high school transition from high school to college, and now I'm just getting a feel for the game and just offense. So I think just the transition-wise from freshman to sophomore year, I'm more comfortable shooting and driving. And school-wise, it's good. It's still good as usual. I still, with school, it's going well.
So talk about also 3 of you returning, 7 new players coming in. Talk a little bit about that adjustment too.
Yeah, it's a process. Me, Taylor, and Tabitha are the 3 returning players, and so we have to, pick the other 7 players up and just, try to teach them our offense, and they're really learning everything else, the process and everything. So I think we'll be okay.
All right, and you guys are headed to Colorado. Then next week you'll be up there on Black Friday, and on Saturday playing Colorado Christian and Northwest Missouri State. Now, have you traveled a lot yourself? Have you been to Colorado?
No, I have not. I know it's probably going to be freezing there. So.
Yeah, you're going to see a little snow, I'm sure. Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
definitely.
So you get to add a new state to the roster, though. So that part's good.
Yeah,
so
it is.
It is beautiful up there. I've been able to go a couple of times, so it's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Even with the snow, it'll be cold. So, all right, now Shreveport. Then your parents get a chance to come over and see you. Much or watch you play, or
they try to make every home game when they can.
Cool.
My mom's actually here today. My dad had to work, so she came, and they usually try to make every home game. We had a game in Arkansas last Tuesday, and it's closer to Shreveport, so they made that game.
Right.
So they try to make every home game.
Awesome, that's good. Now, does he work at a casino or no?
I'm sorry?
Does he work at a casino or no?
Oh, no, he works at
I thought he might be dealing blackjack or something. So.
No, he works at AEP.
Oh, okay.
Electric company.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, congratulations on player of the game. Again, I know it was a tough game, but, get back on the horse next Friday and get it done. And, you guys looked great last night and off to a 2-1 start. So congratulations on being picked player of the game, and good luck at the tournament.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. That was Tori Mason, our Pioneer player of the game. We appreciate her stopping by, and Coach Beth Gilson to come by and talk to us a little bit about the game tonight. Again, tough loss for the Pioneers, 59-35. And we'll keep it right here and wrap things up. Just a couple final comments from Mitch Cullen, and then we'll sign off.
Yeah, to me, the biggest factor tonight was Tabitha Thurman with 0 points. She had a great game yesterday, and then also Rhea Podaraki never really got into the flow of the game, and after being the player of the game yesterday and having such a maybe it was a breakout game for her. Of course, you can't really call it that if it's the second game of the year, but both of those two, the Pioneers got to get both of those two in the game, and to have what total of 4 points between them both it's going to be hard to win any game when you're only getting that kind of production.
Right, absolutely. And the thing about Potawatomi was you could tell the whole game she was trying again and again and again to get involved in the offense. It just was not happening tonight,
No, and sometimes the harder you try, the harder it gets also, because
right.
you become frustrated. So, again, you look for a positive, and the positive there is we played terrible and still were in the game until about 4 minutes to go.
Exactly. So, all right, well, we'll wrap things up here tonight. That was the last game of the Pioneer Premier here at TWU. Again, the Pioneers fall to Central Oklahoma 59-35. Central Oklahoma moves to 3-1. The Pioneers now 2-1 on the season. And again, the Pioneers will be action at Colorado Christian at that tournament. They'll play Colorado Christian on November 23rd, and then Northwest Missouri State on November 24th. Don't forget, Pioneer fans, we'll be back on the air December 1st when TWU plays Tarleton State here at home at 2 p.m. Our pregame show will start at approximately 1:35. We'd like to thank producer Jonathan Whitmus for all his help with bringing you today's game. For color commentator Mitch Cullen, I'm Steve Sheridan saying so long from Kitty McGee Arena. You've been listening to TWU Basketball on the Pioneer Broadcasting Network, home of the Maroon and White. Good night, everybody, and thanks for listening.